Gamescast pre-show assemble. I'm Greg Miller, one of your hosts for this pre-show. Thank you for your support on patreon.com/kindafunnygames. That's what gets you early access to this here show. Over there, the Reverend Jared Petty.
Dokie dokie, and glad to be here, Greg. How are you today?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm superb.
We had one of the best Games Daily of all time today.
All time?
Do you think you can live up to it today on the Gamescast?
No, absolutely. I'm totally going to fail you.
I believe in you.
Oscar believes in you.
Oscar, I appreciate your blind faith. It's very kind of you to believe. But, you know, if anything's going to buoy us, if anything's going to bring us up to the level we need to be at, I think it's going to be Oscar. I spent quite a bit of time talking with Oscar today. He's a fascinating dude.
Oscar?
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the pre-show for the Gamescast. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
You are here because of your support on patreon.com/kindafunnygames.
Just like you can do.
Exactly. He came over. He sponsored us over there to get on the show and be here. Here's something that just dawned on me, Oscar. I've been hanging out with you, talking to you since I jumped on the roof and yelled at you earlier today when you first got here.
Yep.
What's your last name? I have no idea what your last name is.
Oh, Sanchez.
Oh, hey, Oscar Sanchez. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Greg Miller.
Ah,
Thanks for coming
pleasure
through.
to meet you too.
Now, you've been bumming around all day. So far, how's it going?
It's going pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah. You guys are as tall as I expected you guys to be.
Good. Nick will be here to bring down the average eventually. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. He has like that God of War beard going on, so that's pretty.
But I've been
It's
looking
impressive.
looking at the monitor today, Greg. Something's up because you were like colossally big today. You're not bigger in real life.
I don't sit. I don't. Oh Jesus! I don't ever hug the end of the desk like this that much. Again, though, if you have to be a video listener. I look fucking great in this suit. I might just start wearing the Captain America suit.
You look
every day.
pretty good in that suit.
Thank you,
But I think maybe it's
Charles Johnson.
It's added a little bit here
Jacobson.
in terms of the padding. It also makes it look like I have definition, which I
Yeah.
don't.
You mean the unpadded shirt? This is all muscle.
This is
right
all
here.
pure West.
Yeah.
But I do look. I do look big. I look like Gulliver.
Does Jen like it?
Like who?
Oh yeah, she likes it.
Yeah. Oh,
Gulliver.
oh my.
Okay, Jared. If I said you said I look gigantic, and I said I look like Gulliver, you get that reference.
Yeah, I get that. Lilliputian, my friend.
Okay, there we go.
Lilliputian.
guys
You ever
just
heard
making
of a little
sounds.
book called Gulliver's Travels?
I've
Tim?
heard of it.
Yeah.
Is that
It
the
gets
one-
it's like it was the original 50 Shades of Grey because he gets all tied down and stuff, and then they do things to him.
I only watched the
You
sequel.
know, I
fiction
hadn't.
got crazy.
I've never made that mental comparison before, but it's
It's
apt.
true.
It's apt.
That's where the BDSM all starts.
It all starts in Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah.
Jonathan Swift, original BDSM.
What's what's the second one after that?
After that, I'd like to say a
Was it
modest
Gilligan's
proposal, but
Island?
I don't think. Yeah, Gilligan's Island. We'll go with that. Yeah, because it's a modest proposal.
Gulliver
no.
Shades Darker.
Oh, that definitely doesn't work. Wow, thinking about. Oh, that's a. You ever read a modest proposal? That's another one of his, but it's about eating babies.
Oh,
Yeah,
delicious.
Yeah, well, that's
Delicious.
his point actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's satiring the fact that there's not enough food in Ireland and there's too many people at the same time. So the answer is just to start eating all the children.
Sure.
It's a heck of a piece of writing. It really kind of a gut punch.
Yes, Mr. Yasmin 300. I've seen the casting for Kim Possible.
And
Who's the casting?
I mean, I'm fine, whatever. The video was the cool part.
I didn't see it.
It's the original. It's Will Friedle and Christy Ray Romano, and they were like trying to be like, we should get it, and then they got denied. And it was like, I don't know, it's too young people.
The first episode of Kim Possible was the best episode of Kim Possible. I'm gonna put that right there.
Okay, wow.
Cool Greg used to have a
Bold
crush
words.
on Christina Milian, the theme song composer.
Yeah, we were talking about first crush on the morning show, and I had to
Yeah.
bite my tongue the whole time. I was like, oh, dude, I want to talk about her so much.
You had a crush on the composer?
No, it was not composer. The singer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Christina Milian from AM to PM. I saw something else here that I really enjoyed. Oh, Charles Jacobson says Oscar looks like a talented Sean Finnegan.
I've never met Sean in person.
He's a
but
talentless hack.
I can tell.
That's his problem.
There's nothing better than people making fun of Sean Finnegan.
Sure.
Making
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
of Sean is fun.
It makes
It's
me
his friend.
so happy.
Well, he liked Ready Player One. He deserves what he gets. I think that's
Did he really?
He did. Yeah.
He is such an asshole.
you're not looking
He's
through-
such
you're
a
not looking
fucking
through the lens
asshole.
of it as a
he
filmmaker,
only
all
liked
right?
it because of Steven Spielberg, and he's a fucking useless hack.
I love Steven
Finnegan.
Spielberg, and that movie was terrible. Truly awful.
Yeah, I really did. I said this before. I think Justice League is better than Ready Player One.
I think that's Ready Player One was Steven Spielberg's take on the Phantom Menace. I mean, it was really bad.
I think.
But
Phantom
if the
Menace
whole
is better
movie
than
was
both.
pod racing.
What's that?
then we'd be
But
good.
if the whole movie was pod
What's
racing.
pod racing? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, this is a good comparison there. I'm a pod racer.
Mr. Yasman 300 says, "Will Nick come dressed as Thor?
Oh,
Doesn't have the balls.
Doesn't have the balls.
You could have done
That's
a good Thor.
fact. I could have done Thor. I could have done. I don't know.
You could have been Captain America.
It's like a
too.
Star-Lord jacket.
No.
This- Casual cosplay.
Yeah, exactly.
Star-Lord.
I
Bounding,
like
right?
that.
At Disney, don't you call
Disney
it bounding?
Yeah, hey, I'm Disney bounding as Starla.
What if you like this is your casual
I see
cosplay?
a shitty mustache.
But then you press a button and this mask like over your face. So, like,
Speaking of shitty mustaches,
Here we go.
You see
Finally
Chris
kept
Evans?
it- Oh.
oh yeah,
last
yeah, I
couple
love
days.
it. Yeah, he looks like a small town cop.
Fucking good lord! I think that's what he's playing.
Yeah,
in,
I think
in
so
his
too.
little Broadway musical thing he's
Oh,
doing.
he's got a mustache.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool, Greg. Can you go to Google?
It's pretty amazing.
Can you type in Chris Evans
Mustache.
Mustache ride.
Just recent
"Good Morning
pictures of him.
America"?
Oh, I like that you're going incognito.
Oh, no, Cool Greg does not want the government seeing what he searches for.
Uh,
Oh, there, I see it right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, his
I think it's
images.
still
I like
image is
the
probably
headline
going to
there.
get it there.
Chris
No,
Evans
this is
refuses
not.
New
Go
York.
back.
That's right. Chris Evans' mustache will get it.
You can click on that video right there.
I go-
Fun107.com.
Yeah.
I googled this
Right
the
there.
other day. Chris Evans' mustache will get this
Chris
for
Evans refuses New
I
York
just don't
sports
want
game.
to
Good
force my
Morning
brother
America.
to try to spell mustache.
you. Oh, okay. There we go. There was that picture.
Yeah,
of
here
it.
we go. Click
Yeah.
on that motherfucker.
All right.
Show the people.
Uh,
Yeah, it's great.
people
It's a
do
great look.
He's wearing my jacket. I'll bet a very nice version.
I read a tweet where somebody said that he looks like the cute guy from your high school that never left town, became a
Yeah.
cop, and
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
see
yeah.
at reunions. And
here's what I'm gonna say. That's not gonna be a popular opinion at all, right? And I understand a lot of people are immediately gonna jump to Justice League and Henry Cavill. If I was a fucking movie star and I got to play Captain America, Superman, you name it, whoever, you know what I mean, Wonder Woman, I want to go to that fucking premiere looking like that character.
yeah,
I do not want to show up with a fucking shitty mustache.
He didn't go to the premiere because he was doing this thing with a shitty mustache.
Because he's on Broadway.
oh, he can't get away. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Wow.
didn't
Wow.
show up.
There we
Wow,
go.
what a prick. You know what I mean? I've been saying for years it should have been John Krasinski that was Captain America. And now
Ah.
finally proven.
I think Evans works pretty well.
He's awesome.
He's got the tush for it.
Hasn't tweeted back at me. Now, but you've seen my tush now.
Yeah, your tush is amazing. We were talking about
I
this
have
for the
not
show.
seen.
It's the cleft. The cleft is extraordinary.
Why is there a cleft?
There is such a cleft.
Oh my god! I thought it was just like drawn on. No, that's in there.
You
in there, yeah, big time.
you are a concho waiting to happen.
I'm a what?
Concho, a concho waiting to happen.
What's that?
yeah,
no,
the
the
thing-
thing.
yeah,
no.
this thing, yeah.
Don't tell anybody here what concho
The concho,
is.
yeah.
That sounds
You're
like
a
something
concho
Kevin
waiting
would
to
start
happen.
doing.
Absolutely.
Won't worry.
Do you know what a concho is?
No.
Oh, it's a classic Jared Petty
Please.
story. Jared Petty, regale them.
A concho is something. Hey, guess what? I'm going to bring up Japan. Concho is this thing
Drinking
that
game at home is already off to for the races.
exactly Japanese children love to do, and actually, honestly, a lot of Japanese adults too. The height of humor in Japan is to wait until a friend or a husband or whatever is like bending over,
Or a teacher in your
or
case,
a
right?
teacher in my case, or and then
Oh, okay.
take one or both fingers and just jab them as hard as possible into the butthole.
I didn't know there
not
was a
just in
name
the
for
cleft, but that's called the concho.
I thought that was just a
It is
Friday
considered
night.
the funniest thing in the whole wide world. And I really did have to be careful as a teacher, especially as a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, no.
Because there was nothing funnier on earth for those
fucking get in
children
there.
than a giant, like, fat American that they could poke in the butt. So you really had to be careful where you walked.
I would have poked you in the butt if I was one of the kids.
Well, yeah, I remember once I was taller, balder, hairier on the face, and fatter than anyone most of those children had ever met. Like those
I
4-year-olds.
thought you were saying that
You
you
were like a
currently
cartoon.
are, and I was
Yeah.
like, how could you be balder?
No, I was. They had never really seen, because there aren't a lot of bald people in Japan. Not a lot of facial hair. Not a lot of heavy people. Not a lot of tall people. So for those 4-year-olds, I just looked, like I'd come down from another planet. And one day, this little kid walked up to me and he poked me in my belly and he said, "Do you have a baby inside?" And he was like, "Are you
I
pregnant?"
do now. Oh! Ate the kid.
Fucking eat that
Ate
dumbass
fucking
kid.
No, what I told him was, no, I have 2 babies
Oh my
inside.
God.
I told him I had twins, and he's like, oh. I just love the thought that he went home to
this
his parents.
day.
Yeah, to the
like,
What
I
are,
see
what are your
it, though.
thoughts on Tokyo Drift?
what on Fast and the Furious, my friend. I mean, I'm a big supporter of Lil Bow Wow in his motion picture roles, but
Oh, there's a butt. Oh man, this is such a roller coaster.
I've tried liking Fast and the Furious hard.
As a
I really-
franchise.
As a franchise. I really have. I've tried. I've watched most of them, and the magic has just never grabbed me. I don't think that they're actively bad movies, but they don't
Depending on how far you got.
grab me. I watched Fast 5. I've gone and jumped
Okay.
into the
You
late
got into
ones.
the good ones. Okay, good.
And It's just not me.
All right. Yeah,
I want to like it.
It's okay. Some people can be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not like those are terrible or anything like that. That's but
And you felt nothing at the end of 7?
which one's 7?
Fear 7.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah.
You know what?
Anything.
We're not gonna spoil it because it's a seminal fucking franchise in
Wait for the Fast and
cinema
Furious
history.
in review.
Yeah,
later.
when we get
Oh,
there.
it'll
Fast
happen
and Furious in
eventually.
review.
The
That's-
problem with that though is Fast 9 is fucking delayed till infinity because of fucking The Rock being such a punk ass
Now,
motherfucker.
Everyone's
Fucking-
trying to get out
hey,
of MCU's
Bite
lineup.
your shitty little fucking tongue,
Yeah.
all right?
Don't mess with Dwayne.
The Rock's not being a butt. It's Vin Diesel being a butt.
Yeah,
and Tyrese being a butt.
Here's no, it's both of them being butts.
No,
but
The Rock.
The Rock's the big. The Rock, out of all people here, oh, we're gonna do a fucking spin-off movie with the guy that killed Han. Go fuck yourself. Nobody wants this goddamn garbage. He's a monster. Why was he invited to the barbecue?
Because you
Answer
guys,
me that, Greg.
Because they don't know how to write a Fast and Furious movie anymore, so they're doing a spin-off where they can at least take 2 people. That what Rock didn't know Han. Rock doesn't give a shit about Han. They weren't friends. They were never friends. This makes more sense. Isn't this
they
what you
did
want?
know each other.
They're getting out as friends, getting them out.
Every
Get 'em out
time you
of
say The
universe.
Rock and Han, I'm just seeing a Star Wars movie. It's like Solo
Agreed.
2.
They were
Like-
together twice.
Nope, he was dead by then.
Man,
He
The
was a
Rock-
bad guy, and then he was dead.
I'd watch The Rock in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I don't watch The Rock in anything.
Yeah, that's true. I'd watch
Except
The Rock in
Baywatch, which I
anything.
haven't seen, and a number of other movies I just have not gone out to see because I'm not a big movie person, but I like The Rock a lot.
I heard Jumanji was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Manju,
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
Angie really liked it. Yeah.
it was good. Which Gamescast is this? People in the chat asking.
168. Well, that's
168.
people in the chat asking. Cool Greg asking in the chat.
Yeah.
Now, Charles Jacobson says, this makes my ass look tiny. No, I just have a tiny ass.
Yeah.
Jen describes them as 2 oranges.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good
The
description.
appropriate fruit size.
Yeah, she touches them more than anybody.
I likewise have a diminutive posterior. Like
Yeah.
I'm a really
Yeah,
big
me
dude,
too.
but I have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
tiny butt. Tiny butt. No butt at all. I'm like Homer in that cartoon where he had to wear the prosthetics to keep his pants up.
Sure.
Yeah. You remember that, Oscar?
Games.
Yeah.
I like video games, guys. I didn't come here to talk about fucking Simpsons.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Mark
all right.
Freeman's going to get plat 125 very soon during the show.
Platinum 125.
He's the man.
Wow. Look at that. That is pretty amazing, Mark.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I don't care about trophies and I'm impressed. That's extraordinary.
I do care about trophies, and I'm still impressed. So,
Yeah.
Good job.
That's well done.
How many
like
do you
this.
have?
I have, I don't know, probably like 25 or 26 platinums.
That's-
But
How
there
many
was,
of
there
them
was a
aren't
dark
bullshit?
phase there where I would also play like Slider and stuff.
Yeah. Can't wait for Slide.
I'm out of that.
I still don't think I have a platinum. I don't think I
You
have
guys,
one.
I didn't know you guys didn't like games, you know?
Yeah, I love games. But the people would be like, what about the Telltale games? So I played all those on PC. So
That's why your save kept getting eaten. You
Is that
deserved
what it
it.
was? Yeah. Is that what it was?
That's what that happens a lot on PC. You know?
Happens everywhere.
We used to have a lot of crashes on PlayStation 4. It's rare. Save
A
gets
bunch
eaten.
of them.
Yeah.
Do you have any crashes with God of War?
No.
I had 3.
Wow, really?
Three issues where I had to restart my PlayStation.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, that's weird.
That's really weird.
One of them straight up crashed.
Yeah.
One of them I got to like through, you know, the sections where you're, it's like the obvious loading points where like you're crawling underneath rocks and stuff, and it is essentially a movie that you're controlling. When we got to the end of it,
Just
I
nothing.
couldn't move forward or back.
Oh.
I was just stuck there.
Oh.
And I was like, well, this sucks. And then another time, the doors, option to like hit X to open the door or hit circle to open the doors just never came up.
Weird.
So I was just stuck in the room with the fucking locksmith guy.
Here's a
I
question.
want to roll back for a second because it's you. But when you said the first thing I thought when you said, did you have any crashes in God of War? Which is imagining you like walking through the woods and him leaking out of a tree. And he's like, "Can I upgrade your axe?"
Well, the thing is, like,
that's
Crashing Uncharted, no one would have expected that.
Yeah.
And that
Here's
fucking happened.
my question for you.
What?
Did you ever turn off the game, if that makes sense? I wonder if my crashes didn't happen because for me, moving around as much as I was with God of War, when I was like, cool, I'm done for playing right now, I'm going to go do something else, I quit out every time and immediately uploaded my save. So every time I sat down to play God of War, I started a new session. Rather than what I imagine if you weren't doing that, just letting it go and you're playing consecutively over days, and then like on the third day, something freezes for some reason because it's going out of rest mode, coming into rest mode.
I always turn my PlayStation off.
Cool.
Totally. I don't use rest mode.
Whoa, you're mad, man.
Rest is for the wicked.
wow. I like that. That's a bold move.
I also, the PlayStation 2, I would go in the back and.
Wow.
That's spectacular. I'm really impressed by that.
Right, cool, Greg?
I ain't here, sorry.
How do you turn off your PS2?
Back.
At that.
Why? Isn't that a way to do it?
There's
So
another
you never
way.
put it into rest mode. You always just flip the hard switch in the back. Huh.
On the PS2.
I like this. I like this. I like this.
Yeah,
move.
no, I know your piece too.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, we had a fun show this morning, but I missed you with all the Nintendo news.
It was a lot of
I
Nintendo
like that.
news.
I
Good
missed it a
Nintendo
lot.
news.
It was pretty exciting.
Yeah, the bad thing about Nintendo being successful now is they don't make like announcements and shit. They're just like, we'll have our directs. We're gonna do our thing. But it's like in previous years, they would have announced something at these investor meetings because they needed something to like get people excited. Now they're just like, we're just gonna keep saying Pokemon 2018 or later. Investors will invest. It's like cool.
Investors will invest.
Investors will invest.
Yeah, because like a couple years ago, right before the investor meeting, that's when they put out the trailer for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire because they're like, we know Pokemon will sell.
Yeah,
3DS,
there we go.
let's go.
We're
And
gonna
it's
make
like,
some
cool. Now they're literally just like, yeah, you guys know it's coming.
I was excited just seeing him. That almost. You were talking about the PS2, flipping it off, and that got me thinking about the about turning my GameCube on, and that jumped me there. So kind of a random trail there.
Okay,
Almost as
GameCube.
many sales as GameCube already.
Yeah, man.
Freaking rad.
I gotta
think
tell
it's
you,
gonna happen soon.
this is what it must be like to be Nick Scarpina.
Yeah.
Because every time I look at the screen, I just like, gotta look good. I just gotta keep looking.
What?
Can't
Gotta
stop.
keep
A little
looking.
bit of narcissism today, you know?
Well, you were good. You were really excited about this today, though. You're great.
Huh?
I said no. You should. You run with this. You be narcissistic. You
How
love
long
it.
have
you,
you been
thank you.
playing?
A while now, yeah, because it started on the subreddit. Some kid said, you know, Chris Evans looks like, or Greg looks a little bit like Chris Evans in the new Infinity War trailer. And then I was like, that's a great idea, I'll do it. And that's why I've let my hair grow longer than I like it to be. It is too long right now.
The long con.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't give it up though. And then I got in that thing of like, I could get a trim, but like, no, it's at the right length right now to look different. I don't want it to look the same. Just it's Greg Miller and Captain America. I want it when I take these off. You think, wow, Chris Evans got stung by a bee. And that's what it is.
Got
You know what I mean?
stung by
Everywhere.
many bees. It's like
An entire hive.
Everywhere
fucking,
except the biceps.
All right, you know
My
what,
girl.
Jared?
Wow, too
Yeah.
close to
Horrifying.
home.
Yeah.
too soon.
I remember us being stoked to watch it because he died in it. Because it was like, that's cool to see Macaulay Culkin die. Not that we didn't like Macaulay
Y'all are
Culkin.
fucked up. I'll never forget. I mean, I watched the movie. It must have been years later when it was
Sure.
on VHS, and I was fucking horrified, traumatized,
Sure.
by that because it happened out of nowhere. It's like, oh, it's such a fun movie. Like, oh, they're so cute together, and then all of a sudden you're at a funeral,
Yeah, I was
attacked by bees. That changed my perception of bees.
Sure.
I was a horrible teenager, so we were all just sitting there in the theater, laughing, pointing, and mocking that he was dead because for some reason we thought that was funny.
Andy!
It's awful.
Fuck, man.
No,
Yep.
I'll get it. I was going to ask, I'm going to get a cup of coffee before we go. But I'll start it, come back, we can start the show, Andy can bring it to me. I don't hold up the show any longer than we
Okay.
did. Okay.
What's going on here?
Get a coffee. We need
The thing is, you never trust.
Bring me a
Greg, 'cause
warm
you don't
LaCroix,
know
Greg. I'm running out.
LaCroix, you got it.
Warm LaCroix, please.
Warm LaCroix.
Warm LaCroix. That's my secret identity. Warm LaCroix.
Charles Jacobs says, quick pre-Gamecast question, Tim. Do you still think Devil May Cry's return will stick to the classic gameplay, or will it have evolved like God of War? I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. I think to expect God of War from Capcom is silly. It makes me laugh. But I do think that it's not going to be just like super PS2 era hack and slash.
The clock
Somewhere
is
in the
going to be
middle.
wrong by 10 minutes. Add 10 minutes to it.
Okay. Otherwise, I'm ready to go.
All right,
was
we doing
born
this
ready
thing?
to go.
Are we prepared? Oh, man.
Oscar, you ready?
I didn't see
We gotta do
any.
a couple
I don't
more
see LaCroix
pre-shows.
here.
Fun.
I heard.
know.
Now, have you been briefed on? It's coming.
It's coming?
Well, when my coffee comes, your LaCroix comes.
Oh,
Calm
okay.
down,
I
right?
thought you had your coffee too.
No.
Oh man, that's
It's
bad.
It's like a whole meal.
When you get this, you got to stay on them. You got to move. And since you're in a rough spot because you're going to be looking at them, looking at me, looking at them, looking at me. So like you got to, if you're turning to me, move it with me. You know what I mean?
All right.
And then you would turn back to them, move it with you.
Yeah.
Don't do one of these where you move your head.
You don't want me to do this?
I'm fine with that. If you want to if you want to turn your head right into the mic, that's totally fine.
Panzer,
Close enough? Do you want me to push you
we
in?
are seeing
No, I'm good,
Infinity
I'm good.
War in 2D tonight. I am seeing it in IMAX 3D.
The way your eyes work.
IMAX 3D on Saturday.
Yeah.
Very excited about that.
All right, you guys ready to say bye to the chat?
Bye, chat.
Bye, chat. We'll
Bye,
see you in a little
chat.
bit for the post show.
Thank y'all.
Peace.
All right then, chat people.
See, it's that thing. I look at myself in the thing. I'm like, I should probably wear this tonight. You know what I mean? I don't know. I keep going
Think
back
of
and
how
forth.
many other people are gonna be dressed,
Very few.
and
like-
how you won't belong.
Very.
Be like Walt Whitman. I celebrate myself and sing myself. Like you just be like, yeah, you know.
I just worry about peeing in a public bathroom.
I'll tell you this story, Greg.
Lay it on me, please.
When I saw Avatar in theaters
Yeah. Oh, I remember this.
for
You were
the
painted
third
blue.
time,
Yeah, the
I
third
painted
time.
myself blue.
Yeah. You blew yourself.
And I did it. It was a joke. I was just trying to be stupid.
Yeah.
You know, not worth it. It was blue latex paint, and it gets really sticky. And the problem is when you kind of put it on yourself, you get stuck together.
Yeah.
So my arm would stick to my body, and then having to rip it off with the latex. Like imagine the feeling of a Band-Aid ripping off, but
over
everywhere.
And over and over.
But even just sitting there watching the movie, it was really, really uncomfortable. So don't do it.
See, I don't know if you know, this is just a suit.
Yeah, but
Like, I
then
can pull
you're
it
going to
on,
have
pull
to
it
pee. You're going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We've all seen your butt situation.
Will you really have to pee? Like, how often do you?
No, it's not. I'm very good at. All right, cool. Get 10 minutes till previews are gonna start. I'm gonna go pee one last time. I'm good
But it's
at
just
that.
like the act of doing it at all. with
Even
the suit
doing it
on.
once in the suit's a pain in the butt. Even here, I was like rolling things and tucking things.
No,
Well, you know what
I
you
don't
gotta
want
do,
to
like-
put this in your mind.
What if I poop? Yeah, no, that's always my fear. I know.
Well, then I think you should go like full power move. Use a urinal.
Yeah, just
on the
roll
wall,
it down
just
to my
roll
ankles.
it down. Yeah.
Fucking power move.
That is a power
Imagine
move.
someone walking in on Captain America with his whole suit down, just fucking dick out,
And
butt out.
It would be that thing of it's dick out, butt out. Because yeah, I'm in a jock. I have a jock strap on underneath all this. But then on top of it would be one hand on my dick, one hand holding the suit so nothing touches the ground because I'm such a germaphobe.
Or have someone
be
else
amazing.
holding the
That's
suit.
the dirty part.
Can't do it.
Getting
can't
that
do it.
splash damage.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Jesus fucking Christ.
I just
That
want
was-
to put it out there.
Yeah.
If Tim Gettys brings any paint into my house, I'm taking full advantage of it. So I still have all that paint under my sink.
Nice.
If you guys ever want to do something crazy,
We
I'll
gotta
bring
figure
it.
out-
Fucking 6-year-old blue latex
Avatar
body
2 is
paint.
coming.
Chat,
I've
here's
used
what
it
you
twice.
need. I know you're out there, chat, for getting ready for the post show. When we come back
was
from
the
post
genie
show,
once
someone
from
needs to
Aladdin.
have recommendations for me for Kratos paint. Because I still want to do Kratos, me as Kratos, Andy as Atreus. But I don't know what white body paint to get
Yeah.
and then red thing.
Don't do spray paint. That's how the Tin Man died.
Yeah, no, don't.
Just
that's-
dip yourself. Like
That's
Suicide
also
Squad.
a terrible idea.
When like the Joker
Right?
falls into the.
What's
bath.
that?
The Tin Man?
He didn't actually die from the paint, did he?
Yeah.
No, he
I don't think that's
asphyxiated and went down, but they saved him.
Really? He didn't
Yeah.
actually die.
It was
yeah.
it was you'll know this, you're with me on everything. The Clampett, the old Clampett from Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, I don't know the
Buddy-
guy's name.
Buddy
Yeah, I don't
somebody or
remember.
other.
I don't remember his
And I
name.
want that information in the post show too.
I apologize. Wish I had that for you, but I don't.
I think I need a
Buddy Ebsen, yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly died from, yeah.
Oh.
But then he went on to be Jed
Yeah.
Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies.
Man.
Duh.
I love The Wizard of Oz.
Did
Big
you?
fan. Oh, yeah. You ever see Return to Oz?
Oh, that movie's terrifying.
Terrifying and fucking awesome.
Is that the one with Michael Jackson?
No,
No, that's
the one
The
with
Wiz.
it's got
Also awesome.
Faruka.
Veruca Salt.
No, from The Craft when she was a kid.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she's Dorothy.
Return to Oz is essentially if they gritty rebooted, like, Dark Knight-ized Wizard of Oz.
It's legit good.
The movie
frightening.
opens, and I'm not kidding about this. The movie opens with Dorothy in an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Because she's seen so much fucked
Sure.
up shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
people don't believe her. Having to do shock therapy. They're trying to shock her memories out of her.
Yep.
And then she gets stuck
I
in
vaguely
a...
remember these
There's
guys.
the roll.
I vaguely remember these guys with the
God, they're
rollerblade
fucking
feet.
There's
Yeah.
there's a lady who collects heads. She doesn't have a head of her
the
own, and
queen,
so her whole
Ozma.
hallway is full of different heads on like sticks. And she walks around with no head, and then we'll like select one. And there's a screen where all the heads begin screaming at once.
Ozma.
It's
OZMA.
freaking terrifying.
All right, let's do the game.
Freaking
Yeah,
terrifying.
let's get to
We
games.
got a Gamescast, or we got a movie to watch tonight. I don't want to be fucking
right.
sitting here talking about nerd shit when I could be out watching Chris Evans fucking pump iron.
Cool.
I assume there's a big workout.
You ready,
scene.
cool, Greg?
There's a whole workout scene
Thank you,
in
thank
the
you.
movie, from what I hear.
1 second.
Take your time.
You guys just go into it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Well, are we rolling on everything? On audio? On video? Do you need the claps? Do you need anything else?
Clap for me. I think we're good to go.
Okay.
I can make that ass clamp.
I don't know what song you're doing, but
That sounds like it.
it sounded right. What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 168
Oh,
One
we
away.
of the
close.
Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller,
Hey everybody, it's me, Greg Miller.
the Reverend Jared Petty,
Doki doki, glad to see you, my friend.
and for the first time, Patreon supporter, Oscar Sanchez.
What's up, everyone?
Yeah, Oscar Sanchez!
So you spent the whole day with us, watched the morning show, got to do games daily. Now here you are on Gamescast. What are your hype levels?
For
Life.
Infinity War, pretty high.
Yeah, Infinity War. We're watching it after this.
No, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the show, obviously. Honestly, the hardest part was debating whether, like, oh man, should I try to get into Gamescast or should I look into Game Over Greggy show?
Sure.
But I just need to talk about God of War.
Got to talk about God of War. No, you came in.
No
You came at the right
spoilers,
time.
don't worry.
Yeah, no spoilers. But
Except
if you
for
want
the part-
spoilers, you can go to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames where we put up the spoiler cast
Yep.
with Corey Barlog.
Yep.
So hard to say that name every single
Not really.
time.
It's Barlog.
It's just one word.
I
What do you
played too
you
much
wanna
Street
say?
Fighter, dude. Balrog.
Balrog.
You
Yeah.
cannot pass this test.
Yeah, and well, I don't know about that. I'm not one of those fucking Lord of the Rings nerds. You know what I mean?
We'll fix that.
yeah, one day.
Yep,
One day.
we'll fix
One
that.
day.
Maybe.
One day.
But until then, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny Games cast.
Wait, I
each
want
and
to talk
every
more
week.
about the spoiler cast. It was really good.
It was
up
really
there.
good.
It's
It's
up
up.
as an
You can go
audio
watch
too.
it.
It's there. It's doing really well. Thank you for your support. Me and Andy, we're talking. We think it's some of the best stuff we've ever done here.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. You can get the show on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames one couple days early. Or you can wait and get it on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames on Mondays when it goes up at 9 a.m. You can get it as a video or as a podcast on any of the podcast services, including now iHeartRadio.
All right.
So now I think we're officially everywhere.
Okay.
Thank you guys for your suggestions about where we needed to go with all that. And speaking of Patreon people, Tom Bach, Patreon producer, thank you
Hey,
very
Tom.
much for everything you do. And thank you guys for supporting us on Patreon. These are the November people.
Ooh,
Thank you,
right there.
November people. Yeah, they're coming up.
The November people sound like a band from the 70s.
The November people?
Yeah.
They're good people.
It also could be a horror
Well,
movie.
there's also the Decemberists.
There's the Decemberists.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We got the Decemberists. We got the horror movie.
Yeah.
I just like to think they're opening for the Carpenters.
I've never heard of the Decemberists. I don't know who they are, but Gia's a big fan of them.
Oh.
And she doesn't have any music on her phone except for some Decemberist album.
Wow.
And every single time she gets in my car and charges her phone,
It's the first.
Yeah.
It's just
the
plot of
first
place. I
song will
hate
just
that.
randomly just start playing, and it's this like super epic like Eye of the Tiger sounding thing. It's like dun 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 dun, and wherever we're driving, it makes it 10 times more epic. And sometimes it's very inappropriate, but I'm into it.
Like,
It's
is it like
kinda
driving to a
spectacular.
funeral or something?
I mean, just anywhere. It's just like, oh, we're just going to 7-Eleven. It just fucking
God.
plays. It's just like, it just feels very like, I don't know, this is unnecessary.
That kind of sounds great,
Yeah.
actually. So we have this problem where there's some glitch with Angie's phone where we've taken all the music off it trying to fix this. We've done everything we possibly know to do with it, and it will play the song Abraham, Martin, and John, the hippie song, every time she plugs it in, no matter what. We've taken it off the phone as far as we can tell, and it still plays. It doesn't matter.
Are you plugging in with internet turned on? Like LTE or whatever?
Yeah,
Because
we are. So probably
it'll
just dragging
pull
it.
from your library.
wonder if
of
that's
things
what's
you own,
happening.
too,
It's just grabbing it
Because
there.
whenever I go to LA and rent the car to go tool around to do shoots or whatever we're up to, or Columbia even, like you plug it in and it's like I will go to Spotify every time, but for every time it opens with Nirvana Live when they were doing Unplugged.
Now, see, I believe we disabled even that, but I'm not sure. I'm going to go back and check again.
Oscar,
Yes.
what have you been playing?
So I've been playing 2 games mostly. One of them is God of War. I just finished that. Very excited. Very, very hyped still about it.
What is your overall review of it? Do you think of it as highly as everyone is talking about?
Absolutely. I think.
But full disclosure,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Full disclosure. I work for Sony, PlayStation. But I work on like the network side, so I don't have the privilege and the luck to work on God of War or any of the games actually.
I just don't want it to come up later of like, oh yeah, I love God of War. The 10s are
Good luck
perfect.
finding me.
Later on, you're just like, oh, by the way, I work for PlayStation.
But yeah, like I'm very much in the camp of like video games are art. And I think just like from a technical perspective, the achievement that Santa Monica Studios and like the directors and artists and programmers there were able to achieve is it just makes me experience the game on a different level, and I really appreciate that. But also, I don't know if it was you who said it, but it's just like
If it was good,
it's a
it's me.
game-ass game, right? It's like it doesn't.
wasn't great.
It's still fun to play. And
Yeah.
like I mean, ultimately, that's like the only thing you really want, and like they knocked it out of the
Well,
park,
that's
so.
the thing about God of War, and I've been so happy with. And again, we won't do any God of War spoilers. What I've been so happy with is the fact that we played it, we loved it, and to see it get out to the public and see the public love it and hit me up and be like, "Yep, it was the best superhero fight. Yep, I agree with everything you said." I think the game, I'm still playing it. I'm on my way to a platinum. Continue to use the PlayStation PS4 trophies on YouTube's guides. What up, Brian? I continue to play it and I continue to be blown away and I continue to sit there and go like, what a fucking game. This thing excels at all points of being a game in terms of story and pacing and gameplay and graphics.
So last Gamescast, I was still maybe like 3-4 hours in.
And you were talking shit.
I wasn't talking shit. I was just saying like, I don't know, this isn't like this fucking game-changing experience. And then that all fucking changed so quickly. The spoiler cast, I talk about my thoughts on it a bit more. But beating the game, it's like, beating it was like, I was already in love with it way earlier than that. But it is really once you start unlocking skills and it's not, when the combat's not so bare bones.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, oh my God, I'm absolutely.
They teach you the bare bones. They teach you their system, and then they're like, all right, cool. Here's all the seasoning you can apply to it. What do you want your thing to look like?
And that really went a long way for how much I enjoyed the game. But Greg, something I want to ask you.
Lay it on
in
me.
The spoiler cast.
These aren't my real abs.
In the spoiler cast, you brought up to Corey that you think this might be your new favorite game of all time.
Correct.
And we didn't get to really talk about that.
Sure.
Expound.
I think this might be my new favorite video game of all time, Tim.
Because for years, I mean, since I've known you, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Right.
Always your easy answer. We've done multiple things. I remember E3 2013. You got to tell that to Hideo Kojima. We did a different thing at IGN that was everyone's favorite games of all time, and yours was
Metal Gear Solid
Peace Walker.
Yep.
Yours was Sid Meier's Pirates.
Yep.
On the PC.
Well, that's all connected too, you know.
Right?
Actually, it started on PC, but my favorite is the 1990 port by Rare.
Yes,
for the NES.
I remember there was some weird.
But it all started there. You have it a little out of order. At IGN, we did a thing where we talked to everybody about their favorite game of all time, did a video series. And best friend whose name escapes me at the moment, I apologize, did paintings for each and every one of us of these little canvases of a scene or something from your favorite game of all time. And he gave me the Peace Walker one, which I brought down to E3 and gave to Kojima when I interviewed him for it. But even then, it was that Peace Walker, usurped Metal Gear Solid as my favorite game of all time. And that's why I keep saying I'm pretty sure God of War is, because I wanted to let that linger a long time.
Totally.
That's a huge decision to make. And even once I played Peace Walker, I was like, I'm pretty sure I like this more than I like Metal Gear. Like this is but I wanted to stew on it before I ever got there. But weeks removed from the first time I've played God of War, a few weeks now removed from beating it or whatever. It's the same thing of like my love for that game hasn't worn off. The things it does so well. The fact it's a Greg ass game. You know what I mean? In terms of this is why I play video games. This is what I want out of video games. And it's nice to be in a different spot, if you will, in terms of that, of like to be able to tell Corey that, to be able to talk to the Sony Santa Monica friends I do have through DMs or what have you here, and like know that, not that anybody out there somebody saying that a game's their favorite game doesn't matter, but to be able to be in the moment and be able to tell people that on a grander scale, it's meant a lot to me of being able to pay that forward. Whereas now with Kojima, you don't even want to talk about Metal Gear because it's a sore spot for him and it's like a breakup, so you don't want to get involved with it. But yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be it. I love it because it was so out of the blue. You know what I mean? We talked on Games Daily today about a kid wrote in and was just like, why does everyone think Red Dead's going to be game of the year? Like, we were running, you just expect Red Dead to be great. I expected God of War to be great, to be fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even before they announced God of War, you're like, oh, Santa Monica's working on another God of War. I'm like, it'll be good to play at least. I hate Kratos, yada, yada, yada. They show this, you're like, oh, that's a cool take on it. I wonder if he'll play it. You play the 2 hours of it. You're like, all right, that was cool. But to get it and still be amazed and impressed and not know what's coming, by the end of that game, like, you know what I mean? It's so awesome to see people now catching up. And like, this is not a sport. Well, I won't even say it. Michael Jones even tweeted out last night that he got to the end of the game, like where the game tells you you're driving to. And he's just like, holy shit. You know what I mean? To see like, not to say he's jaded, but to see an industry that I feel is full of a lot of jaded people coming away and be like, holy fuck, this game is awesome. And have it not be one of those things where it's me on Podcast Beyond saying, this Sony exclusive is great. And everybody else is like, all right, yeah, but it's not that great. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. Well, it's very rare that a video game so prominently advances the state of the art. I mean, video games, even the best video games, tend to rely, much like the best films, on tropes, tools, and formulas that we understand as mathematical constructs that makes a lot of sense. Every now and then, we're privileged to have something that marks before and after. And it's very apparent that we have that with a few things in the last couple of generations. I think Breath of the Wild will probably be remembered for some of the things it did in that, advancing the state of the art. And I think God of War just undeniably in terms of storytelling and in terms of its strange combination of minimalism and bright, proactive ideas.
Yeah.
Likewise, is doing the same thing. When those moments happen, they should profoundly affect us.
Agreed.
It's kind of delightful. I think it's neat that a game that's largely about growing up has this strange metatextual narrative in our industry where we realize it's helping the medium grow up.
Right. Yeah.
What I love about it is 2 months ago, played Celeste, and I was like, I'm going to be surprised if this gets beat for my game of the year. And I do think at this moment God of War would beat it in my mind, but I think that they are very close.
You love mountains.
A big fan. That's what I'm saying. I'm
Everybody
like, man,
climb
Journey,
mountains.
these guys, it's a big fan. I fucking love mountains.
Yeah.
But Celeste and God of War are very similar to me in the sense that I feel like both of them take their, not even genre, but style of game, small indie platformer 2D game and giant AAA 3D adventure. And I feel like they treat those buckets with the most respect I think we've seen ever. And like with Celeste, it gets more complicated because of things like Nintendo and Mario and all that. But I feel like Celeste, in terms of pacing and in terms of post-game content and in terms of adding a narrative that matters to a 2D platformer and all, it's like, whoa, I didn't know you could do that. I feel like God of War does all those things for a big AAA 3D adventure game where it's like, talking to Corey about it, it's like, there was no microtransactions.
Yeah.
You know, there is no bullshit DLC plan. There is like all of the things, it's single player content. There's no tacked on multiplayer mode. It's like, and in addition to having a great story, there is so much post game. There is so much side quests that feel like they're worth doing. Similar to the strawberries and stuff in Celeste, where I'm like, there's nothing that's here just because they wanted to add more game. There's stuff that's here that's because they wanted
These
this
are all
to be
choices,
and it adds to this entire experience. And like, it's not like things like the Riddler stuff in Arkham, where it's like,
Yeah, I'm so glad
People
you're
didn't wanna
saying
do
this.
it.
I'm so glad you're making this comparison. I had a discussion just the other day with a friend who was making the point that he thought that he was comparing God of War and Celeste in much the way you are. And he said that in his mind, 5 years from now, when we're looking back, or 10 years from now, when we're looking back, Celeste may have aged better. And that's not to take anything away from God of War, which is a historical video game. We all recognize that now. This is something that's changing everything and that will obviously remain fun. But being a AAA game, it is inherently going to be tied to the limits of its generation. It will always be compared to it, much like we look back at old baseball players and their records and we compare them to people around them, but their batting averages or home run averages may be lower than people from a different era. You look at God of War 10 years from now in the PlayStation 5 era, and it might appear graphically primitive, even though right now it's the best. Whereupon Celeste could never, he pointed out, look better. There's no way to make Celeste look better than 100%. It already does.
Wait until Celeste 2.
Yeah, until Celeste, right.
Super
yeah.
Celeste.
Yeah.
It's like we always talk about, right? Of like NES and SNES games are in a way timeless.
Yes.
Whereas you get to an N64, PlayStation 1 generation game, you're like, oof, okay, yeah, I remember this looked way better when I was playing it.
There's our art has that strange power to it, and yet we don't know that. That was just his prediction. I think there's some merit to that.
I think there is merit to it, but I also think that we're, the generation we're at with the PlayStation 4, because you were talking about N64, PS1, right, and then jumping even to PS2, and then we got to PS3, and I remember that was the point where it's like, all right, we're HD now, and it's like, can it really look better than this? And then you get to PS4 era, and you're like, all right, now we're getting to a point where it's like with the HD consoles, which at this point is like a silly thing to even say, but with the AAA consoles, HD consoles, they are at a place where art style matters.
Yeah.
Like the graphics are all there, it looks fucking great, but I feel like God of War has an art style with the graphics potential that it has on the PlayStation 4 that mimics something like Breath of the Wild with the limited power of the Switch. And I think that in 10 years, we're going to look at God of War and not be like, it's not that good. I think we're going to be like, they really made smart decisions to make that game timeless.
I'm inclined to agree with you. That it also has a really well thought out art style. That the way to tell a great art style generally is that you, after a while, you stop noticing it until you have something throw it in contrast. And God of War feels like that. You're like, this is beautiful, and when you go, why it's beautiful, you're like, oh wow, they did this, they did this, they did this.
And then even playing it, and like how areas look different, and they use colors different in the game. You know, what I mean, like game moment to moment, section to section. Hour 3 doesn't look like hour 10 necessarily.
And also like comparing it even to something like Uncharted 4 that is gorgeous as a video game. When you look at it and like the level design, the way things are laid out, the way there's crates and the way there's all those stupid moving blocks or whatever the fuck they are that you have to use to climb things, it's like it's so video game in design where it's like I feel like that stuff isn't going to age well. Whereas with God of War, the different doors and things being colored differently, whatever, it feels like that has a place in the game world. Like it's not just like, oh, video game doors glow blue. It's like, no,
everything with a yellow edge is something you can climb or go
yeah,
for,
exactly. I feel like God of War made really good decisions.
By the way, I don't know if you guys have listened to the Easy Allies spoiler cast.
Hate them, won't listen to their stuff.
But there's a moment where
Love you,
Corey Barlog says something about why certain things have a visual solution to it, why things look maybe with a yellow tint or something, and it's that his answer to that blew my mind. So, and if you guys haven't heard it, you really should.
What is it? Tell us the answer.
Just paraphrase.
Wow, it's a big spoiler.
Okay,
So
well,
maybe-
Good job.
Well
Good
done,
job.
Oscar.
I'll tell you guys later.
Yeah.
But
No,
remind me to tell you because it's actually an amazing answer.
That's really powerful. I do tend to agree with you on what you said there. What it seems to be the consensus around the table that this is more Chrono Trigger than Final Fantasy VII in that regard. Both extremely historically important games. Chrono Trigger remains artistically and gameplay relevant. Final Fantasy VII, people are very excited to see it remade for a reason, and it's not just they want to play it again.
I disagree with you, Jared. And this is something that comes up all the time. People are like, oh, Final Fantasy VII's ugly. I think that Final Fantasy VII's look, even in the overworld, you're just going around and like the polygon look, I feel like that is timeless. I feel like that look that game has is similar to when we look at games on the Super Nintendo and how they are.
If it were more consistent, I might agree with you, but Final Fantasy VII has 3 distinct art styles, all of which are not used consistently within the game, even within the same contexts, where you've got kind of the weird Popeye muscle, narrow arms, and then you've got the more realistic CG renders, and then you've got the cartoony, but they're not used consistently between those. Final Fantasy VII is an extraordinarily imaginative game, but I don't think it's artistically consistent.
I'm also so triggered right now.
Huh?
I'm just so triggered.
No,
I think that that's true about something like Final Fantasy VIII, where that game tried to look realistic. Final Fantasy VII, the only place it tried to look realistic was in the anime-looking drawings.
Well, a lot of the cutscenes shoot for that too. I mean, don't forget there's some that are more CG, and then there's some that are
that's fair.
And that's what
That
I'm
is
talking
fair.
about. I said there's a lot of, and sometimes scenes will be acted out by the pixels, sometimes they'll be acted out by one set of models, sometimes by another. And I think that combined with kind of the musical inconsistency of 7 and the fact that, I mean, we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. It's a good, there's a lot about that game to like, but 7 is story and gameplay wise touch and go in places. It's a game ripe for a remake. I doubt people didn't want a remake of Shadow of the Colossus because there was much wrong with it. They wanted it because they wanted to play it on the new consoles first and foremost, and it was already beautiful. I think people want to remake it 7 so that it can be consistently beautiful and they can fix the things that were wrong. But you want to build a game around the best parts of your memory with 7. Whereupon Chrono Trigger, there's no need to remake Chrono Trigger ever because it can't get much better. And I think I think God of War falls more in the Chrono Trigger camp.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like for the Final Fantasy VII remake, people are gonna get what they're not expecting, in a way that if you were to remake Chrono Trigger today, if you remove the turn-based fighting aspects of it, I feel like that would be a much more. I feel like the turn-based fighting was so essential to that game. It really added a whole level of you're dealing with time and things like that, and time plays part in turn-based fighting.
Yeah.
And to me, Final Fantasy VII turn-based fighting also is such a key moment or a key part of that game that it seems like in a remake they're getting rid of that.
It's going to be an action game. It's going to be Kingdom Hearts.
It isn't Final Fantasy VII for me anymore.
Yeah, I sort of agree with you, Oscar, but I also think about what you got with and now I'm blanking. Sorry, Crisis Core, which is Final Fantasy VII with effectively a very simplified action setup.
Kingdom Hearts gameplay style of simplified
and
Kingdom Hearts
that's why not a lot
style.
of people talk about Crisis Core.
Crisis Core is fucking dope.
I'm with Tim on this.
But what if you take away the story of Crisis Core? What if they just gave you Crisis Core with the Final Fantasy VII turn-based ATB fighting?
I think I'd rather still play. Some of this may have to do with it being on a handheld, but I think I still would have preferred the way Crisis Core was done. I don't know. All I can remember is when I think about Crisis Core, I just think about thank God I'm playing Zach, so I don't have to listen to Cloud. But that's
oh man, I love it, dude. Crisis Core. Shout out to Crisis Core. That game, I fucking loved it. And it sucks that it's one of those games from a generation that we'll probably never get to play again. Like that locked on a PSP. I don't even think it was ever even downloadable.
I think
that was before that.
Yeah, I don't think it's on like I have a PS TV hooked up still for capture reasons, and I don't think it's on there.
PS TV.
Yeah.
What's that?
PS TV?
Is it the Vita TV thing?
No, yeah, the Vita TV thing, PlayStation TV.
Yeah, okay.
It's a Vita TV thing. Same thing. Yeah.
But then you can't play PSP games on that, can you?
You can have some downloadable like old PS1 classics and things
Got
like
it.
that.
Okay,
in
the
there.
classic
And
stuff. Yeah.
So, but
no,
I don't
Crisis
think,
Core is not
but
there.
some of the PSP downloadables I think are available. The ones that are available on Vita I think are also available on there because I have some of them. I'm pretty sure.
What we got here, Big Greg?
I don't know.
What's this?
Andy was nice enough to offer to make me coffee, but then forgot all about it, so I had to go get the coffee. When I got there was this box that I started to open that looks like video game related, so I thought I'd open
it's
it
exciting. What do we got here? All right.
You guys
What
didn't
makes
have
you
to
think
do
it
this
looks
for me.
video game related?
Because I looked through and I saw an
Like
Xbox
Metal
One
Gear?
logo. I tore it open, kinda, you see.
Okay.
All right.
We'll have
I'm
to see
very
what's in there.
excited what might be inside this. All right.
Is God of War your game of the year so far?
So far, yes. And like you, Celeste is a close second. Just because of how strong it is from a story point also.
I'm really sorry to do this. Can I interrupt 1 second?
Yes.
I'm having a little bit of trouble with
Okay.
so far it's what we played. If there's another one, do something.
I'll let you know. It's gonna be what we played, then the ads, and then it's gonna be E3 predictions. That's all we need. Player Unknown's Battlegrounds,
Everybody
Xbox One.
So we got a player unknown,
A loot box. Great.
battleground.
It's a
Is
nice
there
looking
Xbox
one,
One in there? You
No
think?
way.
It's not heavy enough.
It's not at the weight. I just don't think that. Why would they send me an Xbox One?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't
Why would they send you that?
Oh, well, they got the Miramar stuff dropping, right? So we got a big old backpack.
It's an empty box. I see.
It's snakes. All right, so we got that.
Okay. A little knapsack.
Greg, do you want a new coffee? Sorry about that.
No, I got it. Thank you though.
You want a new warm one?
No, I'm fine. What do you think we got here, Gilly suit?
Oh, great. We got some grass. Grass in the
Well, that's
bag.
what I was being afraid is gonna do that thing where it pops out and it goes everywhere.
I want like a frying pan in there somehow.
That's what they sent in the first thing.
Oh, okay.
I took it home. I used that frying pan.
What other games did you put up there in the game of the year conversation so far?
So far, I really liked Far Cry 5 before I realized it wasn't for me. But I think it looked really cool.
Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? You really liked it before you realized it
Yeah,
wasn't
I
for
don't
you.
know. The first 4 to 5 hours of Far Cry 5 were like super fun and super cool to me. And it's like, shit, this is such a big world. And I don't want to say too much of the game, but like there's a point where like you go to just a different area.
So
and,
you
like,
went to area 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, this is so cool. But I don't want to keep doing this anymore. So then I stopped. But I
Holy
really
shit.
appreciate it.
It's
For
an
what it
actual
was.
ghillie suit.
Real ghillie suit, everybody. I thought it was gonna open up into a picnic blanket. No, they sent a ghillie suit.
Well, you should put that
Don't
on
let
top of
Kevin
the
get
Captain
that.
America and be like real nomad.
Seems like a lot of work, Captain America into the ghillie suit.
Oh, I need to go around that.
Yeah, I think that other was probably the wiser call.
All right. Oh man, I picked the wrong time to set.
So yeah, so Far Cry 5, you
Yeah, it's just so I actually recently beat all the Seasides to Celeste,
Jesus Christ.
which was
Real gamer over
Seaside.
here.
That's insane.
Did you beat Cuphead?
I know I did not beat Cuphead.
Fake.
I did not
I'm
beat
sorry, he's a
Cuphead.
fake gamer. Tim.
Yeah.
You're a
Big
real
gamer,
You're still
dude.
a
I
real
don't know
gamer.
what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, luckily the Seasides are actually really short. So
Yeah.
so I basically played like one a month until
Yeah.
until I gave up.
That's impressive.
Oh, you got a license plate?
I do. I'd show you the license plate, but it does in fact have a redemption code on it. I assume for the
Hold on, let me write that down.
Miramar. Well, no, is the Miramar map free?
Miramar, isn't that the first map?
No,
Best not to risk it.
new map. Yeah, maybe it might be for a copy of the game. I'll investigate and let you know.
Okay.
I also got my little PUBG water canteen there.
Oh, love that.
I'm gonna throw away all the glasses. I'm just gonna drink out of this now.
Okay. That sounds fun.
Fill it with a chlor.
Another thing you can wear under your suit.
Good call.
For the movie
Good call.
theater.
Is there any other games that any of you guys have been playing that you want to talk about right now?
No, because you lied to me. I told you I would do homework last night. I've been sitting on these 2 Batman episodes, 4 and 5 to play.
Yeah.
And I was tired last night. You know it. I went home. I worked hard here, but I would have done it for you. I would have played them both.
Did I lie to you? I said we're going to talk about God of War. We did.
Yeah, and then you just asked anything else we play.
It was really just an excuse to have a segue.
Well, rather than listen to him gripe about, I have a couple. I want
Go
to throw
for
in
it.
real fast. First off, I've been wanting to advocate for Minute. a game that I was delightfully surprised by. I bought it on an impulse, hopped in. It's like $10, available on practically everything. It's not on Switch yet that I'm aware of. But have you played it? You played it, Greg? Oscar, you played it?
Nope.
Okay, so this is $10 well spent. It's a very simple game with a great gimmick. Every minute you die.
You talked about this.
Yes, a little bit, but never on Gamescast.
Okay.
And that's why I wanted to advocate for it. It's the kind of game that I want people to make more of, a self-contained, wonderful, content-rich, but still bite-sized experience, the kind of game that I really like to support. And that's why I wanted to evangelize for it a second here. It's nominally a 2D top-down action game, but really it's almost... It plays like an action game. It's really fast-paced, but it works like a adventure game, like a point-and-click adventure puzzle-solving thing. And every 60 seconds, you must die. And so everything you have to do in the game, you have to accomplish within each 60 seconds. When you come back, the world's still changed from what you've done before. All your items are sitting next to your house, but you're running out and doing another thing. And you kind of wonder, well, how far can that go? They do some really ingenious things with puzzles, using that constant death mechanic or rushing for it. Because when you die, you have a house, a home base. And you can establish new home bases, but you got to make it from one to the next. And then they link the worlds in really interesting ways. There's a lot of great humor. There's this part I just love where the whole game, again, you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And there's no penalty for dying. You instantly respawn. But there's this dude you find, like a turtle, and he's got this vital piece of news that you need. But everybody else in the game talks super fast. So but he's just talking and you're watching your life count away and hoping he'll finish. It's really clever stuff like that. And then there's a post game that's surprisingly involved.
How long is the game?
What's that?
How long is the game?
I finished it in 2 hours before getting into the post game, and apparently it's 2 layers of post game beyond that. But I've heard some people say they played it for as long as 5 or 6.
I've seen the trailer for it at one of the shows we were watching. Thought it looked awesome. Why is it not on Switch?
I don't know.
It seems like I thought for sure it was a Switch game. I thought I saw it at Nintendo Direct, the trailer for it. But then when it dropped, I read all the release dates for it, and I was in there. I'm like, ugh.
No, as far as I'm aware, it's on everything but Switch.
Well, not like that, but like that. I was like, that sounds like such a great handle. Because for me, at a surface level, it sounds so much like Half Minute Hero, which was a PSP game I fucking adored.
Yeah,
and I would love to play this, but it feels like, as I always say,
at least 2 times as good.
It's published by Devolver Digital. I think there's a good chance it would end up on Switch. I don't know what tools they used to build it. I don't know if but it is available on your console. It's available on PC, and don't wait for Switch. Just play it. It's really good.
I have so many other things to play on the PlayStation 4.
Well, why not?
And they're already looking me in the eyes. I sit there hunting fucking ravens.
It's a 2-hour game.
Which is about 120 minutes. You heard it here first.
There we go.
Well done.
Dude,
yeah.
Math.
Yeah.
Fucking Tim math.
All right, so
Check it
now I
out
read
there.
through the rest of the stuff. This is a press pack to promote the Miramar stuff coming now, the new map to PUBG Xbox One. This is a code.
So Miramar, second map, already available on PC.
Correct.
Now available on Xbox One.
Well, they're testing right now.
caught up.
In May, it'll come out for everybody.
Okay.
Do you need a code for PUBG?
You can give it to someone else.
All right, I'm going to
It's
turn
okay.
the license plate around.
Uh-oh.
And then you guys got to zoom
Enhance.
in. And you have to zoom in at home and find it and go.
Enhance.
Try to get that PUBG Miramar.
I like Oscar peeking over like Wilson from Home Improvement. Look at that. Like Heidi Ho neighbor.
And
That's right.
Jared, you also played one other game.
I did.
A game on the Wii U. A new game on the Wii U.
A new Wii U game. Ladies and gentlemen, the seminal classic, lay aside God of War. It's time for Shadow Archer.
Shadow
Archer.
Archer.
So
it's
Shadow-
a game on the Wii U. Yes, they still make games for Wii U. Why?
They
We
do.
don't know.
They do still make games. I imagine these are things that were already in the production run. Just like, why not release it? We've got it there. It is 99 cents, and it is almost worth every one of those pennies. Almost.
Almost.
Yeah, it is. Shadow Archer is. I'm kind of delighted it exists. I can't decide if it's brilliantly self-aware or absolutely atrociously inept. I think it's the first. I think it knows exactly what it is.
the difference between Too Fast, Too Furious and Fast 5.
That's actually a beautiful analogy. Yes. It's a lovely, lovely little game where you play an elf at the bottom of the screen using either the Wii U gamepad or the Wii remote, which I use.
Fucking
to
nerd.
shoot spiders that look like they were rejected from a Color Dreams second. Color Dreams is the company that made the crappy NES games that weren't licensed.
Okay.
It looks like
Greg.
it
course.
looks like
How
a
can I
Color
forget?
Dreams game.
Okay.
And so you're fighting green spiders, red spiders, and flashing purple faces that you shoot arrows at. And then they kind of run into you and you die. You're a shadow. You're like supposed to be like a drow, like the dark elf. And it's a one-screen shooter. Its only music is a 8-bitish rendering of a public domain classical music song. At least that's all.
Flight of the Valkyries?
No, I'm trying to remember what it is. It's the only Nintendo game I've ever seen where you go to the official like manual. I went and read them because there's also a ridiculously thick amount of backstory for this one screen shooter, which again makes me think it's all deliberate.
Yeah.
But it's written like recursively, so it's all terrible lore writing. Sure. But it's also like it's got like at least one spelling error in the Nintendo manual. So which I've never seen. They're generally very, very careful about that stuff. So I don't know if nobody cared or if it's just a giant joke. But for 99 cents, just as a curio, Shadow Archer kind of deserves to be. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to experience it for yourself.
Yeah.
Your life is going to be fine if you never experience Shadow Archer. But
Oscar, you gonna get on the Shadow Archer?
I'm too
You
busy.
gonna bust out your Wii U?
I mean, yes. Like you're assuming that I
Do you
I
own
don't
a Wii
ever
U?
put it away. Yeah, I do
Good.
have a Wii U.
You're one of the 13.
now I
of
keep
us.
mine
Well, where
plugged
else
in.
was I going to play Smash?
True.
So.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of good things to
Soon,
play on Wii
Nintendo
U. So
Switch.
there's that, and but I thought it was free. And then the day I download Shadow Archer to play it, a new Wii U game is released. Another one.
Another one. So you're just
Yeah.
not out yet.
So
God, I don't even know what you look like.
Unlimited ammo.
I have no idea what's going on here. This is rather spectacular. And I gave Greg my copy of Wild Guns Reloaded. to
Wiener
try
Dog and
out.
I gotta
Wiener
play it.
Dog and a Flying
Yeah,
Saucer.
he's a big fan of the Wiener Dogs.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Didn't know
fun.
you like flying saucers?
Huh?
man. We'll have to figure this out.
Who doesn't like flying
We'll need a
saucers?
review next week, Greg,
Okay.
of that game.
Cool.
We're
Greg,
about
you
to
better
do
time code
more crazy E3 predictions.
We didn't
A couple-
finish them last time.
A couple weeks ago. Oh, there was a whole bunch of
Oh,
them.
yeah.
I don't think we're going to finish them today. I got pages on pages on pages here.
Page on
Did you
page
see
on
this
page.
episode of Gamescast, Oscar?
Yeah, I saw it a couple weeks ago.
So a couple weeks ago, we went through Reset Era, had this thread of just like crazy E3 predictions. So I got a whole bunch of them from different people, and I want to go through them with you gentlemen and see what we think.
If we
the
think it's gonna happen or
likelihood-
not happen.
Yeah, predicted, makes them fun. I don't know what's going on. Cool, Greg. When you're done making them notes, can you get me another one of these guys?
Oh my God.
I
Two beer
appreciate it.
Tim.
Two beer
Tim,
Tim.
you
Wow.
have to be in your right mindset
Trust me, I
for
will be.
Avengers Infinity War night.
We are hours away.
Okay.
Hours away. Parama says Ninja Gaiden collection. Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 with blood added back in. Ninja Gaiden 3, Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. All of them together on PS4 and Xbox One.
I would pay $39.99 for that.
But do you
it's
think it'll
gonna
happen?
You know what? I'm going to say 45% chance yes.
45%. Do you think, like, where would that even come from?
Where would that come from?
Yeah.
I'm pulling that out of my butt.
Yeah, but I feel like Ninja Gaiden's been kind of forgotten.
Exactly.
I feel like it hasn't been forgotten for long enough.
But if you were going to forget if you're going to bring Ninja Gaiden back, if you're going to test the waters, but what better way to do it than a relatively low impact, like, you're not going to have to put too many resources into a remake. So just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Those games,
Well,
fairly linear.
yeah.
Just reskin them, make them prettier. You can do that.
Not a
I don't think
chance
it's
in
gonna
hell.
happen.
Waste of money.
It's
Next.
definitely not a waste of money. People love those games, but
Not
I
enough.
think it's
not
a little-
enough to make it viable. Not enough to make it worth it.
a collection
love-
of them.
Yeah.
Oh, people
I
love
don't know,
Ninja.
man. If it was like a crazy, I don't think we're gonna remake, but if it's like a Devil May Cry collection style thing of just the games together,
Greg, you and I lived through a world where 1 in 3 video games had ninjas in them. I mean, that was life. There were ninja everywhere.
The glory days,
Ninja,
we call
you remember that?
No,
So
I
there was a
remember
time.
ninjas.
Oscar, are you there for the ninja?
Of course.
I think that
guess.
it is not very far to get from the world that we live in right now to a world where ninja are everywhere again. I still think that with Metal Gear gone, there's room for like a Tenchu reboot that would be freaking amazing. I want ninja back in the
Well,
public eye.
I guess so. Let's get off the crazy train for a second. Just put our foot on the platform and think.
All right.
You're talking about getting back to it, right?
Yeah.
There's the rumors of Onimusha coming back.
Right.
There's Ghost of Tsushima. There's Messenger. Full disclosure, my wife doing PR for them. That's 3. We got 3 kind of ninja-y games right there. So maybe you're getting your wish. Maybe we are going back to the golden age of Ninja, at which point someone will say, you know what? We do need to put the Ninja
Golden
guidance
Age.
back in.
Oh.
I just feel like if you sat down at a pitch meeting with the right dev and the right publisher and you said, here are 3 known properties that still have a lot of recognizability in the community. There's still things people know about, and it wouldn't cost you all that much relative to what you spend on a AAA game to remake these, and we can pretty much guarantee we're going to sell this many on this budget. That's the kind of project that can get greenlit. And that's why I think
What
it'd
the
be
fuck's
possible.
Tecmo been up to?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they're Tecmo
They're,
Koei, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dynasty Warriors and all that crap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you're right. So
Yeah,
Hyrule
yeah.
Warriors. and
Again,
all
kind
that
of
stuff,
I mean, Ninja
Fire
Gaiden,
Emblem.
Hyrule Warriors, I'd put
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Did you got Hyrule
Yeah.
Warriors?
All right. Jet Jaguar says Retro announces their game, F-Zero. That is, no. You get one or the other. Retro and F-Zero together, that wouldn't happen. Although that would be so good. Yes. I think they would do a great job. I mean, even Sega did a great job on GameCube with F-Zero GX. And did you ever play that one?
Oh, what, GX? Yeah.
Yeah. Best F-Zero game. And the story mode in that was fantastic. Gave Captain America, or not Captain America.
So, whoa, wait a
Looking
minute.
at him,
Everybody, it's
gave
me.
Captain Falcon a fleshed out story, and it was hard as hell.
Yeah, it was like CG and it had voice acting.
Anime
and
as
like,
fuck.
pretty good.
And then they made an F-Zero anime, and that was weird.
I'm going to be honest, I don't remember much about the story at all.
Oh, it was cool. It was very cool. Everyone's always talking about making a Captain Falcon third-person action game. I'm into that idea.
Is everyone always talking about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Everyone.
Okay, just making sure. Just making
Just
sure.
call it Falcon
Yeah,
Punch,
yeah.
and that'd be it.
Let us know in the comments below.
Just a brawler.
Have you
now.
Are
talked
you
about that?
everyone? Is that something that happens
that-
at your pizza
Yeah,
parties?
man.
I feel like it'd go like Star Fox, where the walker parts would just be him actually walking and be like, those are the worst parts of the.
But see,
F-Zero
imagine
game.
this. Listen to me for 1 second. Bayonetta, but with Captain Falcon. You know what I mean? He's a bounty hunter. He's going around fucking people's days up.
I don't want that.
I'm in.
I want, Nintendo's doing more and more mobile games. I just want a game called Falcon Punch, where I've just got him on one side of the screen, and I tap and I punch things with Captain Falcon. He just goes, Falcon Punch! Every
It's the
time.
difference between me and you,
I do
John.
it hundreds of times, and then I never play it
That's
again.
cool. Tell me about your microtransaction plan for that.
For that game?
Yeah, how you gonna monetize on your
Different
mobile?
kinds of punches.
Oh.
All right, different things
Hawaiian.
you can say when you punch.
Hawaiian punch.
A Hawaiian Punch, exactly. Oh, that's very good. Yeah, I like that Hawaiian
Done.
Punch.
You just gotta use easy sale. Easy
and then
sale.
right there, you got some product integration.
Sure.
You got some cross marketing going on
Sure.
there.
Make
That's-
money on both sides.
Yeah. You got to, wow, Falcon Punch. Wow, goodness.
Donkey punch.
Admiral Woofington says we get a release date for Cyberpunk.
No way.
I don't think so.
I don't
Too
think so
soon.
either.
Really.
I think we might get a time frame, a fall 2019.
Do you think
We're not going to get a date. You know what I mean?
You think we get a full blown trailer or demo? What's happening on that side?
I think we're seeing a demo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
do you see it?
Xbox.
Xbox. Yeah. That'd be huge for them. That'd be a great
It
one.
won't be PlayStation. It has to be Xbox. They'll pay for that. They'll make that shit happen.
Yeah, I could see that. I feel like they just recently said that. Oh, they just got the other studio, right? CD Projekt
Oh
Red?
yeah. They bought up that other one.
So I
made
feel
it
like
CD Projekt or
they
whatever.
basically just said like, hey, now we're really ramping up. So,
yeah, that's why. I mean, I don't know if you were just throwing out fall 2019. I don't think. You're
Oh, I just don't. I'm saying
making
like
sure.
in terms of like if they do give a date, it's not going to be an actual date. It's
so
gonna
you're
be
saying
more
you'll
like
get a year.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Correct
Yeah,
me if
2019.
I'm wrong, though, but didn't they just come out and say that this was kind of being targeted maybe past this generation?
This generation. I mean, they've said a lot of things, and some
They
of it's
said
in
beep on
weird
Twitter. Remember when
languages.
they went beep on Twitter? That
They
was a
did say
big deal.
beep.
That was a big deal. I think they're ready to talk about the game. I didn't think they said the.
They didn't
All right,
say
they
it,
didn't-
but they were like potentially it could be on cross generation.
Okay,
whatever.
my
Yeah,
There's a lot
and
of
that's what makes
vague-
me wonder about whether or not we'd see an Xbox.
Well, as you know,
release or
the
not.
new consoles are coming next year.
Right around the
I heard
corner,
about
man.
it. I heard about it.
They're gonna have it's going to be a pack-in, Cyberpunk 2099.
Oh,
You get
wow.
it with every Xbox.
Wow.
Stubborns says we see Ken Levine's game,
Oh,
and I mean let's start there.
that's
think?
doable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Sure.
Their whole point of doing that, right? When they reform or when they, laid people off and made it a smaller group, we want to make games faster. Okay, yeah, it's been enough time for you to put out a smaller independent narrative-driven game. Ken Levine, go for it.
I think it's possible. I don't think it's going to happen.
And he's a Ghost Story. Is that what their studio's called now?
Is it? I don't know if that's what they reached. If they changed.
That's
their
what I
title to.
remember it being.
Oh, my apologies. Okay.
Ghost was it Ghost Story? Ghost.
I don't have my phone. I can't do any checks.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make me wonder about this is that I figured they'd wait till at least spring to release it, and that makes me wonder if this is too soon to show it.
And that's my one thing too. Of I guess no. I could see Xbox doing it. I was gonna say that, like, all right, cool. If it's a smaller game from Ken Levine, that's great. But that's not PlayStation's side anymore. But Xbox's whole thing last year was like, we're gonna show you 35 games right now, and they ranged from being really big to really small. And I could see him coming on and talking there.
Yeah, that does make sense. You're right.
So there's more here. We see Ken Levine's game, and it's game of the show.
Huh.
Even with Cyberpunk present.
Huh.
I think that game of the show is such a weird thing for E3 anyway that I'm never going to predict game of the show. I really enjoy awards. I enjoy hype. If there's a less meaningful award than E3 game of the show, I can't think of it.
Really? I don't know, man. I think game of the show really means something. I think when Titanfall 2, when Titanfall 1 was announced, like that was the game of the show. You know, and like, what were some other ones that have happened? Yeah, Witcher was game of the show.
Spider-Man.
And yes, like there's certain things that when they happen,
Horizon.
Just keep going.
And we're talking about a bunch of good games here, but it's not like they came out in a vacuum, not surrounded by other good games that we're sharing. That's my point.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point, you're effectively rating. When you rate a game of the show, you're rating a slice and you're rating marketing.
Last time you're just rating a trailer.
Exactly. And I don't think that means much.
I think it means best buzz.
They still put it on the box. Man.
It's the thing that everyone. It's to me, game of the show means it's when you're walking around E3, what everyone's talking about.
It means sales. Yeah, I guess I'm probably spending time griping about I want game of the show to exist. I'm not trying to take away from the legitimacy of the award, but I don't think it actually has a lot to do with what you're going to get in your final game. So I don't want to try to predict game of the show because so much of it is marketing driven. If somebody comes out with a spectacular trailer for a pretty good game, that can win game of the show.
But that's what E3 is, right? It's
marketing.
It is marketing. Event.
It is to a point. I think there's more to it than that. I mean, yes, it is largely marketing driven. I think E3 is. If GDC is game industry summer camp, then E3 is kind of game industry church. You sit down and everybody gets really wildly evangelistic and hyped up. It's almost like a Pentecostal service for a few days. And then you go home and you just kind of go, wow, this world is amazing.
Sure, you go home and you preach the word.
Exactly.
You go home and preach about all the games you've seen.
Some of that's marketing, but some of that is, to go back to that Tim Gettys dumb, some of it is just
Get ready to get a hype moment.
fandom.
Yeah. See, I think the E3 is the Super Bowl commercials of the world, where it's the only part of the Super Bowl people are actually interested in. You know? No?
People do care about the Super Bowl.
I was trying to come up with the grossest thing I could say E3 is, but I stopped. Once I started thinking of 18-year-old as a adjective in the front, I was like, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
You just never use 18-year-old as an adjective. No. Lucarino says Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 gets a trailer and a release date for this year.
No.
Kingdom Hearts, man. You ain't trying to fuck around with that.
Yeah.
Those need to be separated a bit.
Yep. I agree.
But do you think there'll be a 7 Remake trailer?
Yeah.
I think we're
Oscar's
overdue
not
for
sold.
it.
I don't think so. I think like they have so much. Like actually, they just came out with some report. It was either yesterday or today, saying about someone talking about how they basically had to restart the game.
Yes,
because
this didn't make it on the Roper report, but I heard somebody in the KFGD questions today being like, "Did you see this thing on Reset Air where they were saying CyberConnect got a reset?"
They interviewed a bunch of
That's not
developers
new
on the
though.
game.
That was a couple months ago where
No, it was a couple
CyberConnect
months ago when it happened, but like they're interviewing people about it now, and like they just some guy was talking about it, and I feel like if they're still in that mindset of like, we had to restart, I don't think they're even ready for a part 1, even if it is a multi-episode kind of thing.
No.
I would love to see it though,
Me too.
just because I'm not sold on the combat, but I want to play it because it's Final Fantasy.
You don't need a game to show a trailer. You just need enough of a game to slap a trailer together.
Well,
And
that's what the PS3 did, right? When with the tech
with
demo and
the thing.
You need a demo for this game. You can't just show another trailer.
Well, I wonder. I mean, if Square's mission is to say Kingdom Hearts this year, Final Fantasy coming after that, if their goal is to wow you, the fan, and the investor at the same time, look what we're coming out with, and look what's coming next, man! And the narrative becomes Square Enix is on the ball. Look at that. You throw in a little extra Final Fantasy 14 and 15 stuff, and you're like, what a show Square had.
Yeah.
All you have to do is show a trailer for 7 to make that happen.
True.
Depending on what Sony has, I think that there's a chance that a Final Fantasy VII trailer makes its way into.
Does Square Enix have their own thing this year? No.
No, they don't have a standalone conference or
They
nothing.
had one a couple years
They
ago.
had one last year.
If God is kind, they do not this year.
It's usually like in the same
Tell
realm
us how
as
you
like
really
the
feel,
PC
Drew.
gamer
Oh,
things and all that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a weird side thing, but yeah, I haven't heard they're going to do one. I doubt they will. Puppeteer remastered.
Fuck off.
Switch getting a proper trophy or achievement system. No, and if it did, it wouldn't be at E3.
Exactly.
That'd be part of the online system later on. Yeah.
And that would just be a direct to itself of like,
Yeah,
hey, we're doing a bunch of
here's-
quality of life fixes, and
Yep.
here's one cool for you.
Jared, this is probably for you.
Oh, here we go. What obscure?
Maybe.
8-bit.
Age of
Atari.
Empires 4 full reveal.
Oh. I mean, this E3 would be the best stage to do that on that I can think of. Yeah. If you want to bring prominence back to that franchise. So I have no inside knowledge at all around this, but it would be a wise move for Microsoft. It's nice when we see a Microsoft first-party game pop down, and this is something they own that's still got. I mean, those games are great. So yeah, why not? Especially if they could, Xbox One and Windows 10 exclusive, drop it down. Yeah, why not? Sure. What do you think? Anybody?
I have no idea.
Did y'all ever play Age?
No.
It's,
Did you read Blood, Sweat, and Pixels?
No, I did not.
The Schreier book.
Yeah, the Schreier book.
Oh wait, the Jason's book. Okay, I did read that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was a section there
Remember
about
the name.
how they pivoted from Age of Empires for Halo Wars.
Uh-huh.
And I couldn't see them ever going back to Age of Empires now, just because of that chapter. But I would love to see it. I mean, I'm kind of tired of Civilization, so.
Yeah, I could see that working. It'd be about the right time. Those 4X type games and tactics and strategy games would be a nice fit for them.
And then his last one is Paper Mario 1000 Year Door remake for Switch. I don't think we'll ever see that. I think Paper Mario 1000 Year Door Virtual Console is an inevitability at some point. But I don't think we'll get a remake of that.
A new Paper Mario game might make sense.
It's too soon though, right?
I don't know what they're gonna do with the Mario RPG series because it's split with the Mario and Luigi and with Paper Mario, and then eventually they merged them, but no one likes that.
It's been a mess lately.
It's been a mess, and I feel like they need to fix that on the Switch. They can't have a shitty color splash.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with Paper Mario is they got rid of all the RPG stuff. So Mario and Luigi, those games are actually pretty decent.
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah,
Superstar Saga is still good, so you should play that.
It's remade now on
Yeah.
3DS, Jared's favorite console.
Seems like there's some anger behind that. Jared's favorite console.
yeah, I
3DS?
don't understand the 3DS hate. I don't get it.
Why do you hate something that hundreds of millions of other people love? Why are you the way you are, Jared?
No, he
I
loves
love
it.
it.
He
I love
loves
it.
I'm
No,
hating
he's
on
the
it
hater.
because I don't want to carry it around.
No,
in my
yeah,
backpack.
sorry, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah. No, it's all right. I just don't understand the inhabitants of Vita Island crapping out of their handhelds.
I appreciate that. Yeah, Vita Island doesn't need your. Don't worry about what's happening at Vita Island. All right.
I live on Vita Island.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's
Do
last
you?
What's last?
I
Vita
got my
game you
I got
played?
my citizenship on Vita Island.
A lot of people have been sleeping on Vita Island. What's happening over there? Don't you worry about it. All right.
A lot of weird anime games.
A lot of weird anime games.
Sega Dreamcast themselves says Twintel announced as the ARMS rep for Smash Brothers. Not a chance, but that would be awesome. In a cool world, I can see them doing something where the ARMS rep for Smash Brothers is kind of like Bowser Jr.,
Where you switch characters.
where you can there's a bunch of alts that
Yeah,
change
yeah.
through. Because they do have a lot of their own similar moves and stuff, but because of how customizable it is, a lot of it is just visual. So I think that'd be cool.
Can I just piggyback on the last topic and say I just like Paper Mario and Smash Brothers?
That's been an ongoing thing. It's surprising that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. He'd be kind of delightful in
Does
that.
he have his own moveset?
Exactly. Yeah, he'd be ridiculously fun to do. Imagine if you could turn him sideways and make him disappear when you were playing multiplayer.
That'd be cool. I mean, even if that was his
Block.
the dodge roll or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be freaking great.
The Great Destroyer says, I think we'll get Grand Theft Auto 5 announced to launch alongside Switch Online.
Oh. No, but
I do think we'll see Grand Theft Auto 5 on the Switch.
yeah.
I don't know if it's going to have online capabilities.
Yeah.
The Switch.
I could almost see them just having that be a separate SKU or something.
The Switch can certainly handle GTA 5. I do think that gets complex because you look at how some of the features of GTA Online work on last-gen hardware and some do not. If you were going to do it, it would probably limit it to more of the old-gen hardware stuff than the new. But so much of GTA at this point is GTA Online that I don't know. I don't have an informed speculation.
I just don't think it'd be an E3 thing, period. Rockstar just stays so far from E3
Nintendo
usually.
Direct, though.
I know, but I mean,
At
still, it's going to be
E3.
their it's still going to be their Nintendo Direct E3 Direct. That's part of it. The other thing with GTA Online coming over, because Rockstar wants to put it everywhere, and this game just keeps selling.
Yeah.
With GTA Online in particular coming over to Switch, though, even if it's capable of it, you have to. I mean, think about how hard it is to read text in Doom on your handheld mode of Switch. When you get into GTA Online and the way those menus dig in, like that's gonna be a bitch to try to read on if you were trying to play handheld somewhere.
I hadn't thought about that.
I mean, I don't think it's past anybody to put it out and be like, deal with it. I also don't think it's past. They want to try to redo the UI, but
I don't see Rockstar releasing it as a lazy port. Like they're gonna make sure it's legible. They're putting
with
their
LA Noire, right? They went in and changed a lot of things to work better on the.
Yeah, I feel like they wouldn't spend all the dev cost of making LA Noire if they weren't practicing or gearing up for something like GTA.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean the game's
online.
It's obviously extraordinarily portable, so I could see it working. It's already appeared on 5 different platforms.
Yeah.
Why not put it on Switch if you can?
Dust says Sony announces their own battle royale shitfest.
No way.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see them doing it.
Old school crazy PlayStation, PS3, where it's making random ass shit. Sure. Yeah, of course. Mag, Mag, Starhawk, all that stuff. Sure. PlayStation is such a sweet spot right now. Guess what? All the first parties are making awesome shit that is selling well, and we don't have to worry about it. And everyone's playing the third party stuff here. So we got Fortnite going well. Maybe they bring Fortnite on stage and do some kind of weird exclusive item packing thing.
Yeah, I think they just announced like I don't remember if it was Rust or H1Z1.
Z1, H1Z1. Yeah.
The beta is coming out soon, so
Yeah.
I guess they probably don't want to divide more players from like Fortnite and that.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 5 is PS4/PC, just like Street Fighter 5. I definitely can see that happening.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, well, just think about it. Like with PlayStation and Capcom in their history in the last couple of years, I see that as a likelihood.
Yeah, it works.
Because I feel like the having it on PC thing, it doesn't ruin the game like a lot of fanboys think it does.
Sure.
I think Street Fighter 5 had its own problems. Being on PC as well was not one of them.
But I mean, like Monster Hunters came out and that was on everything.
Not
that was
PC.
I'm sorry, that was on Xbox. That was on Xbox is what I meant more.
But
of.
was on PC.
No, but
Not
it's
yet.
coming. Yeah, they're working on that.
It's coming.
But
Okay.
again, I can see Sony doing the reverse of Xbox One and Windows 10 exclusive. Grabbing into both markets if they think they can make it work. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't think so. That's my prediction on that one. I just don't
Why not?
see it. I just don't see it. I think you want to get Devil May Cry 5 or whatever they're calling it or whatever they're going to do to everybody. You want that in everybody's hands because you're trying.
Sorry. I was questioning the PC thing. I don't think there's a chance DMC 5's on Xbox.
Really?
Yeah.
Did the collection come out on Xbox?
Yes, it came out on both. I still think that DMC 5 is. I think Sony's paying for exclusivity on that one. I think that's going to be like Street Fighter 5.
That would make sense.
I don't mean to insult Devil May Cry. I just don't think it's a big enough deal anymore.
I think that they're going to act like it is, and I don't know that it will be. But I feel like that's the type of thing of like Sony needs like a lot of big shit on their conferences because they've knocked it out of the park the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I feel like Devil May Cry is that type of thing of we got it, and it's the only place you can play it.
Okay.
Like they got their first parties locked down, but if third parties like having those big exclusives is important. We'll see. And all the rumors have pointed towards it being, although the rumors were wrong. They said it was going to be a PlayStation experience, and that didn't happen. So,
I mean, regardless of platform wise, I'm just so excited that it seems like it's so real and so close. I've been waiting for like a double. Like I'm like if you look at the error thread or anything, it's like hundreds of pages of people like just wanting it so badly, and I'm like,
Willing it into existence.
yeah, it's like I feel like maybe it wasn't happening, and then like so many people wanted it and complained about it. They're just gonna make something.
Yeah.
I don't care what it
get
is.
it out there. Jonas says Halo ODST 2 that plays like the original trilogy. To me, this is a half yes, half no. ODST 2, not gonna fucking happen. Not a chance in hell.
Yeah.
A Halo game that plays like the original ones, I can see them doing that. They need to do something different with Halo. And to me, that either means a battle royale or let's go back to what people love.
Halo renewal or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be I could see that working. I agree. ODST is odious in the.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad game at all, but
Great game.
It's doesn't have the best reputation. You don't sell the franchise on that.
Absolutely.
So-
I mean, Master Chief is Halo. The game without Master Chief, you don't make a sequel to.
Yeah, but return to the glory of Halo type marketing campaign could work around something where, yeah, I see that working.
Shulgren says Mass Effect Trilogy remaster by Bluepoint.
They did say they're working on something.
They did say that, yeah. What was the one I had? I picked one. We were talking about this, and I
Last
called
week.
it out, and we all got excited that I thought that was it. But maybe it was just dreaming or whatever. I just feel like they're so going to be Anthem that they don't want you thinking about Mass Effect at all. Number one, how great it was. Number two, how Andromeda underperformed. I just feel like they don't want to muddy those waters. They want to keep everybody focused on this thing.
Yeah, I can see a Mass Effect Trilogy, but it wouldn't be Bluepoint if they were doing it. Robo Plato says Crackdown Shadow released on Game Pass.
So the day of.
Yeah.
And it's available now. No way.
Now here's the thing.
Lay it on me. Sorry
I
for
would
doing
always say, and the available now, I think only works for smaller indie downloadable titles because otherwise you need the big marketing push and like the day one sales matter so much. But with Game Pass, does that change?
Maybe.
You know, like especially with Crackdown, is there any chance of that game actually being good?
Well, I think about what you got when they remember Steam being launched alongside Half-Life 2. And the Steam was this crappy thing you had to download, had to install. If you wanted to play this game, you'd been waiting forever to play. And so it was just sort of Trojan horsed in, and that's how it became so pervasive. Because when it did start working, it was amazing. Maybe you try that in reverse for this. You take a service that you're trying to get off the ground, and you just give something high profile away with it.
So are you saying that Crackdown's only available through Game Pass?
That would be what I'd go for in this situation.
That would be insane for
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Give it away.
Getting people in there.
Yeah, you want to get in there. You want to play Crackdown? It's on Game Pass right now, and you can play it for free with Game Pass. And that's the only way to play it.
I don't think they would do that. There's a chance they'd be like, Crackdown available now on Game Pass. It'll be available to buy.
Those are honks outside. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
But people are also honking at you.
The guy that's super late, just fucking going. Maybe like a month later or whatever. Like give a release date for for anyone else to buy it, because that still incentivizes people to try Game Pass.
I think if you're going to do a move like that, you go all in.
I definitely don't think. I mean, I don't think any of the things we're saying would happen. I don't think they're gonna say it's available now for Crackdown. I think they do need to drum up, hey, we've talked about this forever, and now it's finally fucking happening. Here's why it's awesome. Let's get it. It's so hard to do a, hey, this is available right now during E3 and not get overshadowed by Spider-Man and this and every other amazing thing that's getting announced at E3. Like that's an uphill battle, and there's part of it that gets exciting of like, hey, we're talking about these games that are coming out at the end of this year or next year maybe. So it's always fun to be like, well, now something here you can actually play. And I've said that, and I've stumped for that in the past. I've just never seen it really blow anybody work out and be awesome.
What about available next week?
It's better. That's better.
Like
Available
what if it
Friday.
is something, like available after E3, so that there isn't this like.
But it's the same thing of like,
I
I know we're in a different era, but you still have to deal with the fact of IGN and GameSpot and everybody else is at E3, heads down on E3, which means nobody gets to play a game.
Unless you say it's
not good.
And
Sure,
it's
that's
on
true.
the
That's a true point.
It's on the floor right now, and you can download it Friday. I mean, there's your split the difference, because then the press can play it on the floor.
But he's talking about reviewing.
Is
though.
Crackdown digital only? Are they doing
No,
No,
physical
and then that's my
copies?
thing is like there's no way it'll be Game Pass only, because like they're not going to do.
Oh yeah,
digital.
I think it's
pre-orders and-
unlikely that's how they do. I think it's likely to just sell us Crackdown and sell us Game Pass. But if you were going to connect the two, I think you go ahead and just push it out the door with it.
I think it'd be really smart, and it depending on how much they double down on Games Pass.
I could see a demo, and they could like gate demos that way. It's like, oh, a demo's on Game Pass, and you can do that. Like that would be
I
an
feel like
interesting.
demo-
thing.
I think you have to get Game Pass really popular at that point. Because right now I'd be like, fuck
how else
you.
would they get popular without doing stuff like this?
Well, I think putting a full game on it would be more popular.
The demo to me, that's just more just Xbox Live. Like that's not Games Pass should not be for demos. Games Pass should be for.
You buy
Full
the
game.
Zone of the Enders remake
Here we go.
on Xbox, and it comes with a demo of Games Pass.
I'm into
there
that.
we are. How about that?
Super into
All right.
that.
Excellent.
Oh, sorry. You don't need Xbox Live to get Game Pass anymore, right? They separated them. You can just be a Game Pass member.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Because it's just like the store where you can still buy stuff even if you don't have Xbox Live.
I'll give you a prediction right now.
Go for it.
Is that at the Xbox conference they'll announce that everybody here gets Game Pass for a year or whatever. Maybe not a year, but 6 months. You're all
Remember when
walking
they
out
gave
of
everyone
code.
Xbox
I do remember that too.
360s?
Yeah.
I think it
Were you
was.
in the room?
Yeah.
No, but I had RSVP'd, so it came. I think Pear took it or whatever.
Angie22 says The Last of Us Part 2 has a 2018 release date.
That's this year.
Yeah.
No, fuck off.
Yeah, not a chance.
No, that's fuck off.
Yeah, 2019.
Kirby Fox says Banjo-Kazooie in Smash. Rare Replay getting ported to Switch, but not by Rare.
Okay, so I want that to happen so I can beat the crap out of that stupid bear and that stupid bird every day for the rest of my life. That'd be fine by me. I just put it on 2-player mode and have him stand there so I can beat him with a stick.
Wow,
just have Mario pummel him down over and over, just as he pummeled him on the N64 with the superior Mario 64 over the inferior,
Jared.
overrated Banjo-Kazooie.
Fucking, we went into a wrestling promo in the middle of that.
That's right.
But Banjo-Kazooie in Smash, as fucking awesome as that would be, I don't know that that's really possible, but there's a series of questions here. And I'm going to read a couple of them together, and we
Tim,
can
do
talk
me a favor.
about this.
Read those questions.
I'm going to do that. Thanks, Greg. The Wicked Soul says Nintendo cross Xbox on something. GoldenEye with crossplay or Banjo and Smash. And there's a couple other questions. I don't know where they're at. But the idea is that somehow Microsoft and Nintendo are going to collaborate. Phil Spencer in a Nintendo Direct announcing a character in Smash.
Fucking Halo or Master Chief. And,
The Master Chief, but I think more likely something like Banjo or something that's like owned by Rare, but has heritage and lineage.
Yeah.
But it could be something like Master Chief.
What's in it for Nintendo?
Smash.
Headlines.
Headlines and Smash, right? Like,
Yeah, I guess that's your. Can I have Banjo, but instead of instead of the bird in the backpack, can I just have Pit in his backpack?
no.
Like
probably
beep,
not.
beep, 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 like spinning the blade. Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
this gives me fucking PTSD.
Just get rid of Crash and just do. Get rid of Banjo and do Crash. That would be
See,
a lot better.
I'm definitely in for the Crash. But the GoldenEye thing, I would love that if there was crossplay between Xbox and Switch for
I
a
know you got
fucking
a shirt on.
GoldenEye remaster or something. But I feel like the GoldenEye stuff's more licensing with James Bond than it is with Rare.
And the Switch is a very capable machine for what it's targeted toward, but do you think that Xbox is willing to equate their hardware to Switch hardware by downporting the technical capabilities to some of their games to be compatible and competitive? Because if you're doing anything like GoldenEye...
It's a cop here. It's a cop here.
Yeah, it's cop here. If you're doing anything on Xbox with GoldenEye, it can't run smoother, look better on Xbox than it does on Switch, or you might create a competitive disadvantage for people playing on Switch. So I think that's another consideration to look at there. I'm not sure that works.
But maybe even if, okay, let's take crossplay out of it. What if there was just a collaboration where they allowed GoldenEye to be on Switch?
Possibly, yeah.
Or Rare Replay.
Oh, Rare Replay would be amazing on Switch. It'd be perfect for it.
'Cause with things
Virtual
like
console.
Minecraft, that's...
You
We've
can
seen
keep
shit
coughing
before.
about your virtual console forever. You're not getting it anytime soon.
One can dream.
I dream. I'm with you. I want some VC.
I think the Microsoft Nintendo thing is very interesting. I don't know what it would look like, but I do think that there is a potential for it because Phil Spencer's like, we want to start some shit. You know, with Games Pass and all that stuff, they want to do something different. And I feel like with the success of the Switch, they'd be smart to work together. Because Sony's fucking dominating otherwise.
Yeah.
Brailer says, bunch of bullshit that I don't like.
Damn.
Final Fantasy VII Remake gets canceled. Resident Evil 2 Remake gets canceled. And Nintendo doesn't announce any other games for 2018. I think that Nintendo will announce games for 2018 that we haven't heard about yet. Final Fantasy VII Remake getting canceled, I wouldn't be totally surprised. They wouldn't do it at E3.
I know. Hey, they come out like, hey, we know you're all real excited about Final Fantasy VII Remake. We're here to tell you we're not doing it anymore.
And until we see something from Resident Evil 2 Remake, I don't believe it exists.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, I don't think they cancel. Even if it's in real trouble, they just Kingdom Hearts it. And they have lots of reason at this point. After Final Fantasy 13, after Final Fantasy 15 and the weird road that led to that, and after Kingdom Hearts, they have learned that their audience will tolerate very, very, very long delays in promised
still
gifts
sell
and
extremely
still
well.
sell. So I don't see any reason for them to cancel 7 unless they're short on cash. And I don't think they are. So I'm not too worried about that for them.
What about Resident Evil 2?
God knows what Resident Evil 2 is. There's a part of me that thinks it'll suddenly just emerge on the floor as the surprise breakout. All right, you know, if they were going to do anything to surprise us this winter or early spring, that would be a thing to do.
Yeah.
So I think in some form or fashion it will exist.
Do you think we'll see it at E3? Do you think it'll be at Sony's conference?
No, but I think that'd be a great surprise. I want to see it at E3. I'm not sure if it's in the shape. Now, they also asked about Nintendo and new games. Pocket Monsters? What do you think?
The thing is, traditionally, Pokemon hasn't been announced at E3. The Switch hasn't been traditional.
No. It hasn't.
Anything can change with this. Like, I do. There's all the rumors of the Nintendo's E3 booth. Last year was New Donk City from Odyssey. The year before that, it was Breath of the Wild, Hyrule themed. The rumors now are that half of it's Smash Bros, half of it's Pokemon. That fucking makes me very happy. I think it's going to be a great time. Does that mean Pokemon is this year or next year? I don't know. They just did their financial report today as we recorded this, and they're still sticking to the 2018 or later.
Can you imagine?
Pokemon.
Can you imagine to walking into that? They always do such a beautiful booth, but walking in on one side, there's that Smash logo, and on the other side, there's a Pokeball. They're exactly the same size, facing each other across the room, and you're just like,
man.
well, I'm standing in heaven right now. This is where
That is
I want to
definitely
be.
Tim Gettys heaven. Let's fucking go, boys. I think
yeah.
they're going to announce a bunch of other games, though, for 2018.
What do you think they'll announce?
I mean, we already know Yoshi's coming this year. We know Fire Emblem's coming this year. We haven't heard about that since last year at the Nintendo presentation. Or after that, the Fire Emblem Direct. They're like, 2018, we'll see a Switch version of Fire Emblem, a proper one. And I'm surprised we haven't heard about that yet. I do think that we'll see Rare's game. I think that we'll get a couple just surprises we haven't heard about yet at all.
Will we see Metroid this year?
No.
Okay.
What about trailer?
Sorry. Will we see it this year?
Yeah.
At E3?
We see a trailer?
I think there's a chance. I think it's 50-50. We will not see Metroid Prime, the game, fully out in 2018.
No, I was thinking a trailer, like Oscar was asking.
Animal Crossing, though, is the other. The thing is, between Smash, Pokemon, and Animal Crossing, in my mind, I'm like, there's no way they do all three this year. But last year, I would have been like, there's no way they're doing Mario and Zelda in the same year.
Well, they
And
can show Pokemon and not release it till 19 if they want to.
But they can't.
Yeah.
They can't.
What
Like,
if it's
Pokemon? They're gonna want to hit that November. Let's fucking sell as many copies of this as we possibly can, or they'll be like, "Fuck it, it's Pokemon. We can put it out in March and it's still fine." They've done that before and they've succeeded.
So what if they go with like but before you go, and it's like
One more thing.
a Blades Will Bleed moment where it's just a 30-second Pokemon trailer and there's no date, no context coming,
The problem with Pokemon on Switch right now is we don't know what it's going to be. We don't know if it's going to be a proper Gen 8 that's a whole brand new thing. We don't know if it's going to be a Johto remake like Red and Blue 2. We don't know if it's going to be another like Pokemon Stars, like's been rumored of like a Sun and Moon third version. I think that's the least likely. Or it could be a remake of Diamond and Pearl because we're due for that. I don't know. And I think that a 30-second teaser would only work if it was Kanto remake or Gen 8. Otherwise,
Gen 8 would be
if it's a Diamond and Pearl remake or the Pokemon Stars thing, and we just get a trailer that might come in 2019. People are going to be pissed.
Do you think that Pokemon will continue to do like the two versions?
And that's another question. I'm sure Nintendo's like, fuck yeah. Like, this is going to be the first time that these games are like full priced games. Will people buy two of them? Probably. That's what helps Pokemon sell, is people buy 2 copies of the game consistently. Yeah.
What about in digital distribution? What if they sit there and you buy one full price and the other's half price, but
Nintendo's
only
not
if you buy
stupid.
one of them?
Like
The bundle?
like buy two
Yeah.
buy one get one 50% off.
Yeah, but only if you buy them both. Yeah,
That's really smart. Yeah, just have a digital bundle there.
yeah.
They've done that physically before with, I guess it was last time, with Sun and Moon and with X and Y, right?
They did something like this for Fire Emblem, where if you bought Awakening, you can get the other one kind of as DLC.
It wasn't Awakening. It was the other one after that.
Uh,
Birthright, Conquest.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Revelations.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a cool idea. I would rather them do that than have to buy 2 different copies.
All right, let's get a couple more out here.
Chip.
Garrett to you says, Skyrim remastered. Remastered. Because why not? We will see it one day. Not yet.
Not yet. It's too soon. Too
Skyrim
soon for that.
remastered. That's beautiful. I like that.
Brailer says, Shadows Die Twice was always going to be Bloodborne 2.
I don't have a clue.
I could see it. I could believe it. You know what I mean? When they revealed it and started talking about it, you're like, all right, yeah, that would make sense. But
I'm still thinking Tenchu.
yeah,
And that's just because I like hype and I like fucking revivals.
I want a Tenchu game so bad. And it is time. I am not even a stealth game guy, but a freaking great, well-paced, good story, innovative, screw with the world, ninja, stealth action game with a freaking grappling hook. That could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. We need the Metal Gear. I mean, the world's wide open right now. Where's the Metal Gear game? Somebody can fill that void.
Splinter Cell.
Huh?
Splinter Cell. Siphon Filter.
We will see Splinter Cell this year
Yeah?
at Ubisoft. Undeniably.
Will we
For
see
me,
Aisha
that's
Tyler
100%
on stage?
for sure. That's not for sure. I think Splinter Cell's more likely.
More confirmed than Aisha Tyler. All right.
You don't think Aisha this year?
I'm not saying that. I said maybe, but I know that Splinter Cell will be there.
I liked her conference last year.
She's great, man.
No, last year was without Aisha Tyler.
And last year was great.
Yeah.
A little long, but great.
Yeah, but
We're gonna do 4 more here.
Four
And I
more,
feel like
everybody.
all 4 of these are good.
Are they all related to Steep?
How many times has Aisha
nope,
Tyler appeared?
None of them are. None, actually. Halo 6 has Halo's gameplay drastically calmed down to be more akin to Halo 3, faces criticism of looking too simple. I think there's a 50% likelihood of that. We will see Halo at this E3.
You think you're going to see Halo at this E3?
I think we're seeing Halo at Microsoft. What that means, I don't know. Is it Halo 6? Is it Halo Battle Royale? Is it something like this?
There's not going to be a Halo Battle Royale. You can just stop saying that.
I don't think so. Dude, that would be wildly successful.
I think
the gameplay of Halo is so tight. People would fucking love that. The online community is huge. Multiplayer community is huge. Their Horde mode has always been super successful. Like, they've taken things that have worked and put it into their games.
But are you saying the game is, not for lack of a better title, Halo Battle Royale, and that's all it is?
I think that as a stall to 6, potentially, and especially with Games Pass and all this, I can see it happening.
I don't think they would do that to their PUBG.
Yeah, that's their
partnership.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
they got PUBG, right?
Yeah, but Halo, man, they want to do something with that.
I worry about him diluting the brand there. I understand. I'm maybe the wrong audience here, but I think there's some consensus that Halo 5 is not what it could have been. I certainly didn't think it was great, and I think that they are in right now. This is kind of their last swing. It depends on what they've decided to do with the Xbox internally. If they're just trying to gear up for next gen at this point, if they're just like, you know what, we've lost the battle, then maybe you hold Halo in your hip pocket as your launch title, if you're going to do it. If they have not given up on this gen, then I think if a real Halo 6 is shown at this E3, that says a lot about what Microsoft's plans are.
Totally. I agree with that.
But yeah, hold it in your pocket. Why use your greatest asset if you're...
Because it's slowly turned into just another asset. And I think that's the big problem that they have. And to that end, I think that at the very least, and this is not the best scenario, but at the very least, Master Chief Collection, Xbox One X update that they've been talking about and teasing and giving updates for will be focused on, and that game will essentially be relaunched.
That's interesting. I can see a Battle Royale mode working for Halo attached to something else, even as a Halo 5 add-on. But I don't think you want to dilute the brand by releasing it as an independent
Standalone,
product.
here it is. Yeah.
We'll see.
We will see, Tim. Tell us.
Poke Lane says
gonna see.
PlayStation Now overhaul to better compete with Xbox Game Pass. Standard services cost $10 a month and give users access to downloadable PS2 classics and PS4 games on PS4. Premium service, $20 for 1 month. He's getting a lot of detail here. Games played via
Yes, I
PlayStation
do
Now.
think you'll see them come out and try to make a bigger deal of PlayStation Plus.
You think?
Yeah.
At E3?
PlayStation
Yeah.
Now, he said.
Oh, my apologies. I meant PlayStation Now. Yeah, I do. I think the fact that Xbox, like, you know, what's everybody complain about with PS Now? Latency, right? That's just a little, even though it's gotten way better, but they still complain about it. And the fact that Xbox lets you download and do all the stuff with Games Pass, like, I'd hope they're working on that. They have worked that kink out. They're ready to come in and say that, do that. I think I feel like the make or break here, where you come out and you actually establish that, yeah, this is a thing. This is a thing, and we haven't doing, because they've been adding games to it, right? Like, I do it on Kind of Funny Games Daily, where I say, okay, they're adding these games to PlayStation Now this month, and blah, blah, blah. They're putting a lot of stuff in there, and I feel like in the same way I've talked so much about Xbox laying this foundation to build on and be like, we're all about the gamers, I feel like PS Now is in the similar boat of like, oh, we've been putting a lot of stuff in there, but there's just a few quality of life fixes I think they need to do to come out and make a big deal.
I like your point, but I'm going to counter with this.
Lay it on me.
You're talking about latency. Instead, they actually doubled down on latency. They partner with Level 5, and they released Professor Latency
I hate
A brand new
I just
franchise.
fucking hate you sometimes.
Okay.
Tali Zora says Nintendo will announce a bunch of Zelda ports for Switch, namely Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword. Everyone will be excited until it's revealed they're obviously being sold separately and at full price. I can see this happening, and yeah, they are totally being sold separately. They will not be a collection.
Skyward Sword would be hard to port a little bit.
It would, but I can see them putting the time in. So Wind Waker and Twilight Princess,
Yeah, those are easy.
those are already on Wii U and up-res and all that stuff. They'll eventually make it to the Switch, I think.
I would buy just another Wind Waker, so yeah, do it.
Again.
Do it, yeah.
If they sell me a version of Twilight Princess with the first 5 hours cut out, that would be amazing.
It would be. It would be. They won't
Great.
do that, though.
It's like a skip intro
Ocarina of
button.
Time, if they're going to do another remake of it, like there was one on 3DS already, but if they did another one, it would be this year because it's the 20th anniversary. But
So do you think maybe we just get the one?
just Ocarina of Time?
Yeah.
I think there's a chance we get an Ocarina of Time remake, remaster, like, I don't know, all those fucking words, whatever the hell.
Nintendo's breaking a lot of rules right now, but I don't see them breaking one of their most valuable IP rules. Nintendo very, very, very rarely bundles, almost never. I mean, other than Super Mario All-Stars, can you think of another instance where Nintendo bundled?
The Zelda collection, that was a pre-order bonus for Wind Waker.
There was that. That's true. That's
great.
a very good point. And then you got that. Oh man, now I'm thinking about Zelda. Remember the Master Quest?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking,
Never heard it referred to. I don't
Oh,
know.
sorry. Being that guy right now. I didn't mean to.
Final thing comes from Ethan Rad. Fallout New Orleans. Probably not by Obsidian, though. Maybe in-house by a branch in Bethesda.
Can we just have Alpha Protocol 2? We're talking Obsidian.
I'd like to believe it. I feel like that there's so many rumors and leaks usually leading up to a Fallout that we haven't seen enough for this.
Yeah.
one. We haven't seen enough people being like, hey, why are these developers in New Orleans doing all this stuff? It'd be cool. I could go for more Fallout, but I don't know. I just don't know. It doesn't sound like what would happen. But again, Bethesda's doing another conference. What do they have this year?
Yeah.
Last year, it was easier for us to sit there and be like, Wolfenstein 2,
Obviously.
Evil Within 2, this, that. You know, what I mean, like we could pick what we thought they'd be doing, not what we knew what we thought.
Fallout 4 was 14 or 15? 15?
It was 15. Yeah.
I think I don't know if they could have it done because they'd want to release it quickly afterward.
But I mean, you figure it's going to be like, it would be like New Vegas, right? Where they take the engine and give it to another developer.
team. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if they did that and yeah. I mean, I want
It's
it.
possible. Yeah.
How far away do you guys think the next Elder Scrolls game is?
I mean, that's a big question. I don't think it's going to be this year. There's that Starfield game that keeps being talked
Oh,
about.
yeah. Last year, the rumors of why they were looking up at the stars and stuff.
Yeah.
I figure that it's either 18 and 20 for what they're going to do or 19 and 20.
Yeah, I just like a Fallout, a new Fallout. I feel like would have to be sufficiently far away from another Elder Scrolls.
True.
Not only that, but I'm not sure, and I'm not sure you want to release either Fallout or Elder Scrolls in end of 2018 alongside Red Dead. I just don't think you want to do it.
Sure.
You could show it at
should
E3 and release.
anything
You could especially because of the similarity of the comparisons they would draw. Maybe early 2019 would be different,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure you want to release that alongside another vast
Cyberpunk.
AAA overworld
Or
game.
whatever.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Oscar, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have
Thank
any?
you, guys.
Where can people follow you?
Oh, wow. All right. Well, I guess you can follow me on Twitter at OMS1005. I talk about Kanye and video games, so.
If you're a fan of either of those
It's on
things.
brand. That's on brand for our audience.
Yeah, definitely.
You're having a week on Twitter, aren't you? My.
It's like I'm dying a little bit every day.
every single fucking day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this. Let us know in the comments below if you think that any of these things are likely to happen and what you're excited for. Until next time, I love you.
Give me that post-show chair.
Let's get that post-show.
What's up, Post Show?
Corey says, my two big Xbox E3 predictions are 1, Battletoads. Number 2, MCC patch to fix flawlessly. Yeah, and it's also Xbox Play Anywhere.
What kind of game would Battletoads be?
side scroller, right?
I mean, that's what it was before. So
I don't think they're going to deviate too much from it. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be like, what do you
It was
want?
like up-res graphics or.
I don't know. I mean, Battletoads could be almost anything. Ninja Turtles, Battletoads was always kind of playing on that idea anyway. And the Ninja Turtles are fun because they can inhabit almost any kind of game. They've done 2D side-scrolling. They've done arcade brawlers. They've done 3D platforming. They've done fighting games. Battletoads could work in those contexts too. As a matter of fact, if I remember right, there was some fighting stuff around Battletoads. So I think you could create a 3D action game if you wanted to around them. I don't know. I really don't know how that plays
Sounds
out.
like someone's dying over there.
There's something very exciting happening in the other room right now.
How Miss Burton is.
Let's see what we got here.
Charles says, Puppeteer was amazing. It was, but you're not getting a remaster out of it. Come on. Slow your roll. That ain't happening.
I would love a new Sly Cooper. But I think we got one not too long ago on the Vita and stuff. So
Yeah, and I don't think it did well enough. It didn't set the world on fire. I know that there's a tease at the end of that for another Sly, and I just don't think you're going to see that happen anytime soon.
Charles Johnson says the 13 trilogy was good in terms of gameplay. No idea how people can hate so much on them, yet love the abomination called Final Fantasy 15. I can play into that a little. Charles, Lightning Returns had some of the best RPG combat I've ever seen. It was innovative. It was like Mike Tyson's Punch Out the RPG. But Lord in heaven, I felt like I was playing the world's stupidest version of Majora's Mask anytime I wasn't fighting something. I think that hurt. Not even the ability to put a mustache on Lightning could make that game good. 13-1, yeah. I mean, lots of innovative combat, but also just lots and lots and lots of running in straight lines, which is not what you go to a JRPG for. 15 is 2/3 of a delightful video game there. Oh, we got hugs going on here. So Charles, that's my take on where that came from, is that the 15 is so front-loaded with delightful stuff that people were a little forgiving on that back end.
Rudy says, Greg, get a haircut. I will, now that Infinity War's here. I just need it for this costume, all right? That got way too hot at the end of that shit.
Yeah,
I
like that
peel
you
this
did the
fucking
whole
shit off. I gotta get
peeling
it
it
off.
off.
This thing.
Yeah.
Starting to feel the shirt just get like stuck to
Yeah.
my body. I'm like, it's time to stop this one.
Mr.
Right now.
Yazman300 says, my prediction, Devil May Cry is done by Platinum Games with the original director of DMC1. I can see something working on.
Platinum or Team Ninja.
Platinum,
Yeah.
Capcom together.
Now, Mr. Yazman says, this is for you, Greg, Patapon 3. They haven't put out Patapon 2 yet.
Yeah,
We're still
wow.
waiting on Patapon 2.
That's weird.
I thought it'd be out way earlier than this.
Yeah.
yeah, they announced it a while back.
Yeah,
like,
PSX.
It's been a pataponderous
Shuhei.
wait. It really has.
Damn you, Shuhei.
Someone asked about Harry Potter, and Harry Potter is so like freaking big.
Yeah, Charles
Charles
said,
Jacobson says, I gotta ask, why do people think Harry Potter would be anywhere near as big as Batman Arkham?
Because he's Harry Potter. Because there's no bigger. I'm sorry.
Harry Potter is so large, and now all the people who grew up reading Harry Potter are making enough money to like will a new Harry Potter game into existence. So
Yeah.
it's such a huge franchise. Just like look at like the new book that the book on the play,
yeah.
and then the play. Just people literally flying to London to go see this play, and it's like
I feel like it could be a game that crosses generations, where it is young kids with PlayStations or an Xbox.
But that said, a new one just came out on mobile.
Yeah,
and
it's
sucks.
terrible. Yeah, I heard it's bad.
It's
Cool,
garbage.
Greg, can you does it suck? The Harry Potter mobile game? A lot of people hate it on the internet.
I don't know, man. I gotta be honest. I'm enjoying it, but all I'm doing is clicking.
Yeah.
Click one, he walks. Click again, he gets it. Like, it's not a game. I like the story.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool Greg effect.
Harry Potter's the potential to have that franchise just continue to grow. Harry Potter did what only Oprah can do. It sold books. I mean,
It made people read.
Yeah, that's power right there.
People hate reading.
And as much as we all grew up around Batman, but I could tell you what, 10 years from now, Harry Potter may be a bigger factor in our culture than Batman.
Bite
is.
your fucking tongue.
I'm not kidding.
What if
I don't live in that
Batman
already.
became a magician?
There you go. I'd be all right if they cross the universe is over. I'm in.
I've
Biggest
never
crossover in
thought of
history.
Harry Potter as a magician.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Totally.
a wizard, you mean? Instead of
Well, I mean, wizard, yeah, but like I never was like, oh, like name famous magicians. I would never be like
Harry Potter.
well, that's because
Earth has
he's
wizards
a wizard.
now.
He does real magic. Batman probably wouldn't be able to do real magic. He would just do magic. Like
Yeah.
he'd be a magician, an illusionist, if you will.
I will.
And you know what? Forget what I just said about 10 years. I'm going to come back and say it now.
That's a
right
siren,
now.
right? Well, I guess you're
Yeah, it's
watching.
sirens on our end here. Wow, that's really going. We'll let that siren go by.
A lot of bad people in this neighborhood.
Dude, there's a fire department like a block and a half away.
I'm going to say Harry Potter, Bigger than Batman now. That's the truth. Harry Potter.
There's no way.
Harry Potter gets theme parks. Batman doesn't.
Yeah, he does. He's had theme parks.
Oh yeah, he has crappy theme parks.
I don't know. This is a tough
Harry
decision.
Potter
I'm
gets
on the
worlds.
computer. I'm putting Google Trends up and figuring this out.
I feel like
Google
more people.
Trends, yeah.
I feel like more people in the world have been, at least people currently alive, have probably been influenced in some way by Harry Potter.
By Harry Potter than Batman. Yeah, I agree.
Batman.
I mean, Batman's huge. Harry Potter's huge. We're arguing Mickey Mouse
But
versus the Avengers here, but
Batman's
versus Mario. You know?
yeah. But Harry Potter is colossal. And that
I feel
franchise
like
has barely
It
been
only
touched.
recently became okay to be like a comic book fan and like that kind of nerd.
Mm-hmm. But Batman transcends.
So does Harry Potter. Just
Harry Potter transcends.
walk around
for
and people-
sure. I
yeah.
understand that, but like Batman, I like what Greg's looking at right now. Like Batman for forever, no pun intended.
Hey, good job.
Yeah.
Really?
Good job, Jared.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, I
job,
figured.
Jared. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish we could see YouTube terms. But Batman was the most searched thing on YouTube.
Oh, okay. But again, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is
When
one thing.
I was all confident and I yelled that out, or I was going to throw that out. And I was like, wait, who's the most
It
first?
was just superhero.
Who's the most Googled superhero?
Alright,
Oh man, that's
Damn.
like a
Who would've thought?
20-point differential too. That's
That's an embarrassing. That's an
It is
embarrassing.
actually
That's
embarrassing,
You've
yeah.
embarrassed me right here,
Oh,
and
that's
everybody
right.
knows that I love Google Trends.
I mean, it's not like Batman. Again, we are comparing titans here. I mean, this is Zeus versus Odin. But
Where one of these is clearly better though.
yeah.
Oh, I love that so much. Can we see the chat again? Cool, Greg. Thank you.
We ever
Okay,
do any
so
Harry
thank
Potter
you.
stuff around here? Yeah, are there any Potterites in the office?
Oh yeah, Cruel Greg's a huge Potterite.
There is
Nick a
nothing that
huge
my brother
Potterite.
loves more than Harry Potter.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that.
that
What happened to Ubisoft? Yeah. Oh.
Mystery Asman asked a question about a Superman game. I won't respond to this because this would play into my Superman pitch that I will make soon. One day.
Yeah, got some exciting Superman stuff going on. Let's see. What else we got here?
Mark Freeman's getting close to level 40 trophies, which is a huge fucking deal. Good for you.
Charles Jacobson talking about Nintendo funding DMC. Not going to happen. They have Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Now here's why I'll never use this backpack. Now that's a good looking backpack.
See?
It's got a lot
That's
of
where I would
pockets and
start.
everything. But my problem is that you're gonna wear this backpack and people are gonna think you are actually a soldier. Oh, did you serve? And I'm gonna be like, woof, no, I did
I
not.
don't know about that.
Or you
And
can
next
just
time you
like
see
come
a
up with a
soldier,
story. Like,
next time you see a soldier in the airport, they'll be rocking a backpack like this, similar to this. I'm just saying I can't do it. I'm not gonna lie to people. I don't want the, what is it? You know this, Jared. I don't want false valor, false honor.
Artificial insemination.
Good Lord.
Kevin,
Whatever
great
term
news.
was there was just
we
driven
got
out
a
of my
ghillie
mind.
suit.
That is great news.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny Gamescast post show. Thank you for joining us live, or if you're just watching as a Patreon supporter, the $10 above level. Either way, we love you. We love your support of us. We gotta go watch it.
Well, here he comes. Look at ding, 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 ding,
ding,
ding, ding, ding.
Call of
Kevin's
Duty.
in the ghillie suit now.
We can
Yes,
see
he's
you
in.
What the